Hi, I'm literally a ghost, and I'm the writer and designer of the tabletop role-playing game system Standalone Complex, which you're about to listen to an actual play of with the crew of On the Shoulders of Giants and special guest Iris J. Up front, I'd like to say that Standalone Complex is based on the Blade Runner role-playing game system by Free League Publishing and isn't an official product associated with them. Standalone Complex is also based on the Ghost in the Shell franchise and uses elements from all of its incarnations to tell detective stories. It is also not an official Ghost in the Shell product. As with the franchises this game draws so much inspiration from, it tends to deal with some fairly heavy stuff. We're all friends and we're here to have fun, but the story that we're going to tell includes graphic violence, suicide references, and discussions of body dysmorphia. We want to have fun with the game, but I think it's important to have this note up front. We, as players, know what to expect. We're excited to bring this to you, and a lot of effort has gone into creating the story and the system that drives it. We want you to be excited to listen along with us as we explore Newport City in the future year of 2025. Anyway, thanks very much for listening, and I really hope you enjoy.
All systems nominal.
それでは早速全速前進
You don't know what the weak point of a mech is? The fucking pilot.
Get away from her, you bitch!
His papers say he was a raven.
Protocol 3.
A pattern blue!
Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I am Brian, and I am joined by several people today. Most notably, the two people that are normally here, Alice and Niko.
I'm normal.
Hello.
And then we have the illustrious Iris J and the extremely haunted thing that lives in our cellar that we feed dry pasta to, Ghost.
Hello. Roll for initiative, but not in this game. We have a better game to play today?
Better game. Yeah, this is a bonus episode in case you missed the thing where the
bonus.
Ghost, what are we playing today? And then we can maybe just get into our characters and stuff.
Sure thing. So, I have spent a little bit of time now creating a hack for the Free League role-playing game for Blade Runner, and a lot of the effort has been trying to convert it so that it can tell detective mystery stories set in the Ghost in the Shell universe. I know this is something that is going to be a little bit different for this show, but I figured that it'd be good to have. It'd be good to have people come along, have a look, have a listen, see if there's something fun in this. It's been a good amount of effort on my part, and hopefully people will be able to have some fun. So I think I'll just launch us into it, if that's okay.
Let's launch into it. Hey guys, Alice here. Thanks for listening to On the Shoulders of Giants. We're really happy you're here, but if you know anybody who might be interested, we'd love if you share our work with them. If you are enjoying what we're doing, maybe send us a message, or what would really help us out is if you leave a review online. Really, a lot of the algorithms will push people down if they don't have reviews, so it really helps if you just go and write something on the internet. Heck, we might even read one on the podcast if it's really nice and makes our hearts go doki doki. So if you could do that, maybe do it, and thanks again for listening. Now, back to the show.
It is the evening of December the 27th in Newport City, and it is the final moment of the Japanese parliamentary session for 2025. You and the rest of the members of the newly founded Section 8 are standing on a hastily constructed stage watching a press conference play out. Maybe you're there in a full dress uniform, maybe you're there in something more casual, or maybe you're just dressed to kill. It is cold, and you know that in a few hours' time it's going to snow. There are television crews pointing cameras at the stage, and Section Chief Nakamura is giving a speech. He has an artificial larynx where when a sentence tends to run on and get a little bit long, it can sound ever so slightly like it's been vocoded, like a kind of auto-tune effect happens. The road to the founding of Section 8 hasn't been smooth. Less than a day ago, it wasn't clear that there was going to be any money to pay for the repurposed JSDF aircraft hangar that you're going to be operating out of. But the law was signed, the hands have been shaken, and now all it's going to take is getting to the end of a commencement speech. The nebulously defined role that Section 8 will take in keeping the people of Japan safe is still being nailed down, even though the contract for it has been ratified. So long as nothing terrible happens between now and January 3rd, Section 8 will be funded fully and turned into a recognized organ of the Japanese state. Once Section Chief Nakamura finishes speaking, he hands over to the Minister of Public Security. He looks small next to the chief. Minister Aragaki is a slight fellow in his late 50s, a grey man with grey hair and a grey suit. He used to be a minister in the Ministry of Defense, but the public crusader life seems to have suited him better. He has a relatively safe seat for his party, way out in the suburbs of Nihamashi. Right now, though, he's standing at the podium, and he begins to speak. What are people wearing?
Ooh, fit check.
What are you wearing?
I imagine On is standing pretty close to him as like a kind of direct report, second in command kind of look. She is not wearing a military dress uniform. She is wearing the dress uniform of the corporate FIM, which is a sort of tailored slacks, extremely sharp high heels, sort of a loose drapey top under a sharp blazer that already has the insignia for the prospective Section 8 added to it. Her hair is up in a tight, business-like updo.
Alice, how about yourself?
Rika is in full dress uniform. I think it would be very funny. So just the little cyborg, but in full dress uniform. So your JSDF, just olive drab green blazer. Probably has a couple of medals for some conflicts that we don't really talk about. Pencil skirt, stockings, and just little short heels. They give her about 2 inches, which she really appreciates. Dog is playing with the wire.
Should we also talk about like what our characters physically look like? Or
yeah,
we kind of did, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Because one question I have about Rika is like, what does she actually look like in terms of like? You mentioned little, so she's short, I imagine.
Yeah. So Furuta Rika is 4 feet 8 inches tall. She's thin. She's not a first generation full cyberization. So like they've worked down the parts. She's very obviously not like a full military model. Like they didn't put her into a hunking Section 4 Ranger body. She's more from military intelligence, so it's built for purpose. Just long, straight black hair that she just usually wears in a ponytail when she's working, but now it's kind of down and under her, it's up in a bun probably because she's in dress uniform and she's got the little hat on. She usually just dresses like a schlub. I always imagine her kind of looking like that battered Bostonian beat cop who just like wears the badge around his neck, has 2 different hoodies on and jeans that are just like tactical jeans. Like, he gets them from a company that like is specialized in tactical gear, and then guns everywhere probably. So that's what she looks like.
To backtrack a little bit, On is in her early 50s, but the face claim for this character is just Sandra Oh. So just like she's well kept, she has very severe makeup. I'd say she's about 5'5", just kind of average height. And she seems to have very minimal cyberization, though there are some telltale little like I'd say Cyberpunk 2077, very slight, marks where things have clearly been added, but very minimal, especially next to Rika. All right, what about Iris or Bri?
I volunteer Iris.
Go for it. Me? Okay. Right. Circe Inagaki is probably in full, probably in dress uniform because, she's been working with the police a while. This isn't her first rodeo. She's kind of a lanky, around maybe tall, upper end of 5 feet, low end of 6 feet. Red-haired gal with, who's just rail thin, has terrible posture and has a bunch of she has these big dark like bug eye glasses that cover up her facial eye prosthetics, which are basically a bunch of kind of similar to like Bato or that nurse in the in Innocence, which was a major unintentional
the
reference point for this character. Yeah, a lot of little doodads sticking out of there. She's
Love that sentence.
She's in her early 50s. And the crispness of her dress uniform is kind of offset by the enormous puffer jacket with the acrylic fur lined hood that she's wearing over it, cigarette stains on the pockets. It's cold out.
It's cold.
She's usually inside. She's an inside working gal. She doesn't need to be out here for this.
Meanwhile, in her lightweight suit.
Clothes don't get cold.
Okay, yeah, I'm playing Bruno Burn Dovetail. He goes by Burn generally. You call him Bruno if you're being like chastising, basically.
On calls him Bruno exclusively.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's she's probably the only person he'll just take it from. And he stands out, I guess. This is something I forgot. Burn's like by a long shot the youngest person on the section. He's like the little puppy dog. He's only been on the force for 2 years. He's also like pretty brown. Like he's mixed race Hispanic immigrant. Mm-hmm. So there's like several ways in which he doesn't blend in to the rest of the unit very well. But I imagine he's wearing like square sunglasses. He's very like extremely nondescript otherwise. So like I would say probably 5'11", short black hair. I want to say dress uniform and then one of those big like puffy jackets over it.
Oh, you and Saorise are styling the same.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Not have your coat?
Like underneath, it's clear I have like a pressed, very well tailored dress uniform on, but also it's cold and my hands are in my pockets. So
Minister Aragaki is moving up to the podium and he begins to give his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering for this momentous occasion. For too long, we have relied on traditional law enforcement agencies and their methods to solve problems that are rapidly moving beyond the reach and remit of those agencies. Given the recent parliamentary deadlock triggered by the NKP, it was vital to bring this organization into being before the start of the new year and the closing of the current session. It's a Ghost in the Shell product, of course there's going to be a political deadlock. It is thanks to the work of my junior ministers, my advisors, and the positive steps taken by Section Chief Nakamura that we have brought together the team you see behind me today. We have triumphed over red tape, and we take our first steps to bring Japan into... He stops talking and grips the sides of the podium. The color drains from his knuckles in an instant. His pupils dilate sharply, and he grits his teeth, breathing fast and heavy. Then the sound of a blood-curdling scream of terror from him. He lunges, spitting and cursing for his bodyguard. He reaches into his guard's breast pocket, the man stunned, and pulls out the firearm. There's only one word that you can make out through the screaming. What do you do?
On immediately lunges for Section Chief Nakamura to get sort of with him and sort of almost behind him. On is not strapped to this occasion.
Yeah. Give me a strength-themed roll. We're gonna have our first. Sort of
love dice
roll of the game. So that is for On. That is a D in strength and a D in force. So we're going to do strength and force. So that's 2d6. The way this game works, again, if you roll a 6 and above, that's 1 success. If you roll a 10 and above, that's 2 successes. That's pretty much the entire thing. Everything on top of that is just exceptions to rules.
Well, I've gotten a 5 here.
Okay, how about your second dice? So you got your 2d6 you're rolling because it's strength plus the other one.
Oh, so it looks like you actually got a 4 and a 1.
That's a 4 with a 4 and a 1.
4 and a 1.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so used to rolling all my dice together, so I'm just like, 2d6,
totally
here
fine.
we go.
That's totally fine. So one of the things that happens when you roll a 1 is if you accept the result of a 1, you take a little bit of either physical or emotional stress and trauma, for like what's happening. And what you can do is you can push to like re-roll that. But if you get another one that is like that, it locks that stress and trauma in. So you get like a sort of little backup roll that you can do. Do you just want to accept that fact as reality, or?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to accept it for now. I don't think, like I said, Anna's not strapped for this. She's trying to get out of harm's way. It would make sense for her to be stressed out.
You're going to take 1 point of physical damage. That is, I think what happens is you like lunge for him, and he's like half moving towards you. You both kind of turn into each other, and there's like a little
bonk,
clattering smack between the two of you.
Yep.
So you've taken 1 point of health damage. No, don't worry. You'll heal 1 point of stress between each shift. You'll heal 1 point of like health between each shift, unless you're a fully cyberized individual, at which point you can't heal yourself. You just are too much machine.
That's fine. Some concealer will deal with the bruise that I've gotten from
absolutely.
this.
Rika would jump to try and disarm your boy. So I think that she would go for the weapon, disarm him. Attempt to.
Does anyone have anything other than attempting to disarm?
I think seeing that An was already closest to him and Rika's already jumping, I'm probably going to like try to keep the crowd away from the situation in general.
Yeah, okay.
So just start yelling back up and shit like that, you know.
Yeah, give me an empathy plus manipulation roll. So for you, that is a towering D12 and a D10.
Yay!
Yeah, that's one success. That's really all you need. So you motion for people to start backing away, and you see people kind of backing away, except there's one person that seems to be a little bit slow about it. Cersei, what are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing okay.
We're fine.
I mean, I'm not
Normal
doing
day at
okay. There's a
work.
guy about to die in front of me. Gosh. I'm probably let's see. Cersei's much more of a tech type person. So can she, I assume it's like GitS rules where you need to be in physical contact with the person to try to hack them. Could I try to hack this guy?
Which guy?
The guy pulling the gun. Does it seem like he's being overridden by some sort of virus of some sort?
I would say you can tell just by looking at him, like going from where he was to where he is now. That's such a big leap that it's like something about it feels kind of something about it feels fairly sticky. Unfortunately, that last bit was a flashback. You're actually standing inside the section chief's office.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Our first day at work did not go well.
Well, I think it's safe to say that our launch hasn't gone the way we hoped it would, growls Nakamura. That tape is going to be all over the net in time for the morning news. It happened late last night, and none of the journalists that were there were equipped for live broadcast, so that's got us a little bit of grace, but we need to be proactive. A minister went mad, screamed guilty, stole his bodyguard's service weapon, and then unloaded it into his own head. We've gathered copies of the footage taken by the reporters on the scene, and have forwarded it to what passes for a crime lab here. We've been here for 2 days, we're still getting everything set up. I need you four to find out what caused this. This doesn't feel like a normal mental snap. I'm worried there's something more sinister is happening. And right now, it feels like the sort of thing that we were set up to deal with. I'll handle as much of the political fallout as I can, but the Prime Minister's office was already opposed to the creation of another public security section, and a dead minister is really going to give them all the ammunition they need to try and shut us down. We've got the minister's body on ice in the basement. He shot himself in the head, so we have no idea how much damage has been done to his brain case, but it's going to have to be worth checking. His family wants us to release the body to him as soon as possible, so some of you should at least start there. Probably not going to be an open casket, though, so be gentle. Run the footage from last night through facial recognition. See if you get any hits. The minister had a special advisor with him last night, a Mr. Shobudaigi. He's in the clinic with Dr. Mirai. Kid went into shock, fell over, hit his head. He might know more about the minister and if anything unusual is happening. Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree. The scene itself hasn't been touched, and we have a cordon around it. We're still getting set up here, so the analytical team isn't especially well equipped right now. it's not a huge secret to say that our armory is perhaps the most equipped out of anything, and you'll have to request with Oda and see if he's going to check in anything out. I would say be gentle with him as well, because he's being distracted by the Californian right now. They're trying to talk about that new walking tank thing. Feels like I'll be able to help hold the dogs off for a few days. A lot of lost emails getting missed, things getting dropped in setup. Don't stand around. We've got work to do.
Salute.
Salute.
On doesn't salute, but she gives a sharp nod. She turns to the rest of the group and says, I believe I'll start with the scene. And reviewing the footage, there was an individual I would like to follow up on. Otherwise, I can work with the family, see what information I can get out of them. Who wants to deal with the body, and who has other ideas?
That sounds like my job. I'll go down, check out, see what we can scrounge from whatever's left of his brain case. See if there are any metaphorical fingerprints left on it from whatever kind of incursion he experienced, if indeed it was an incursion.
All right.
Rika looks at On and is like, guess I'm stuck with you.
Yes, you're stuck with me. Bruno?
Above the table, do I have any facial data on the person I noticed being slow?
That's actually what I was going to look into.
To back up?
Yeah.
So that would be something that you would try and solve at the crime lab. So that's an area that you can visit. You can visit the scene of the crime, the morgue, or the clinic. You have access to street assets. So these are people that you know, kind of just like you would make a connections roll to be like, hey, does anyone know anything about this guy that just went insane last night? That might be a bit too vague to get anything out of. You would know perhaps for sure that no one does. That's really kind of all that would do. But if you are ever completely stuck, you can just say, I want to try some street assets, see what falls out.
Okay, so if we're going to investigate the guy who was slow to react in the crowd, it seems like, Bruno, that's the crime lab thing. Then I think I should go to the family first to do a little bit of damage control and also see what his family might know about if he was being intimidated, if he was, taking secret meetings, if he was doing things like that. So
is this this is me asking about the system. Is this a system that behooves us to not separate 4 ways rather than 2 ways?
You are completely allowed to go in as many different directions as you want. One of the things that exists in the background of this game is there's a clock that is ticking where I know what the bad guys are doing.
Okay.
And those bad guys are going to keep doing it. So you are against them.
Where should I go, boss? None of these involve shooting people. What should I do?
Well, now that I'm going to go see the family, it might actually be good for you to go to the crime scene and see what you can pick up in terms of
I'll head to the crime scene in my car. I'm very excited for my car.
Okay. The crime scene was like your front door.
Right.
Yeah.
Get in your car,
What Rika needs to do then is actually go to the roof and jump off into the crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll go to the crime scene.
Honestly, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get up on our roof just in case, because it probably has good sight lines. Anyway.
Yeah, honestly,
He wasn't sniped.
Okay. Let's start with the crew going to the clinic and having a kind of quick look around inside what's left of the brain case. How about that?
Sounds good.
Love that.
Okay. So Dr. Mirai is the doctor that's the clinician and sort of head of the physical and mental and emotional well-being of Section 8 officers. Mirai is currently looking after the minister's special advisor, Shobo Daigi, and they also have the body on ice. Sho seems to have taken a hit to the head and will likely need a bit of cajoling to talk round to anything that's especially useful. But you have access straight away to the contents of the brain case. The minister shot themselves, but the brain case is a hardened object that can withstand being hit by a car. Like, it's pretty lucky. Like, in all the sort of Ghost in the Shell media, brain cases tend to be sort of ceramic and Kevlar. Pretty tough things.
Built to last.
Yeah, exactly. What would you like to do? Would you just like to have just like focus on the brain case stuff, or?
I wanted to ask, so that's the head trauma was the only thing is the only sort of visible trauma on the body, correct? There wasn't anything else that that we could find, no other lesions, wounds, anything like that?
Yeah, you stand over from Mirai. She has been performing an autopsy, white coat, kind of. She's a woman in her like late 60s, looks very close to retirement. This is not her first rodeo, but also at the same time, she's not really a fan of doing autopsies on people with cybernetic augmentations, because it's starting to feel a little bit like having to work out like car crash investigation as well as biological collapse. Aragaki has bruising around his arms and chest. You are pretty confident that that was Rika, where Rika just like tried to pounce and like grab and drag down, and a single self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It shattered his jaw and a big part of his skull. There's a bullet lodged in the underside of the brain case. Those are the sort of things that you can find immediately. You can do a medical aid roll to see if you can find more, or you can do a tech use roll to just get into the brain case and see what's happening in there.
Can I do that medical roll first, actually?
Sure. You have advantage on this one because you have Dr. Mirai there, so take another one of your biggest dice from your dice pool and roll that again. So you get 3 dice on this one.
It's a D12, correct?
Yeah, that's 3d12 by the sounds of what you want to be rolling there.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It looks like I got a 1, a 4, and a 1.
Wowie zowie. I
Not
would,
awesome.
if I were you, I would push that. I would push to re-roll that because that's just 2 big points of failure.
I would like to push to re-roll this, yes.
Okay, yeah, dude. You can absolutely re-roll as many of those dice as you want.
I will re-roll 2 of them.
That's fair.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
2 6s.
That's
Not
2
the
successes.
worst,
That's,
not the worst, not the best, not the worst.
I mean, all you need for basically anything is in this game, except for like combat, is 1 success. Yeah, you are able, with your combined knowledge of like high-end tech and medical apparatus, to see that there's like a little scorch mark coming from one of the neural pores, which suggests that
Tristan.
an attack barrier was breached, but it was breached in a very sudden and brute force manner. Whoever did this absolutely like sledgehammered it. And if this is a government grade attack barrier, whoever broke this is like they were using a howitzer to crack a walnut.
Oof.
Sorry, I'm not trying to give Iris homework. I just want to make sure I understand. When you push a roll, do you take damage or anything?
If you roll a 1 on any of the subsequent push things, you do.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Luckily, I didn't. Okay, so that's interesting because if they used something of that heavy ordnance for breaking his onboard attack barrier, that means either they were in a huge hurry or they're not experienced with doing more subtle work. That's interesting. Can we get a look inside?
So there's a third option that you might not have just considered, and I'm going to give that to you because of your second success. They were either in a real rush, they weren't expecting to have to do it, like they're not like subtle, or secret option 3, they fucking hated this guy.
Ooh, true. Because I bet this wasn't comfy.
No, it absolutely sucks ass. Like you can see, like just by looking at some of the sort of readouts that Dr. Mirai has taken as a blood sample, she's pretty happy to help. You and her are able to get in through the side of the head quite easily, and you're able to extract the brain case. It comes out like nice and cleanly, or at least as clean as it can. These obviously are going to be replaceable parts. The contents, not usually that replaceable. It's been pretty badly damaged. It takes some time. It's probably going to take the rest of your morning, but don't worry, the rest of the day you have your day shift, your afternoon shift, and your night shift before the second day starts. And right now we are firmly in the morning. You can see that the brain case has taken some pretty serious damage, but you know that this particular model has a dump of the last 30 seconds of sensory input.
Perfect. Can we scrub through that, please?
Give me a tech use roll.
Of course. Now, is that 3d12 again?
I would say that is just the 2d12 because you're kind of
2d12.
trying to...
Okay.
You know,
Just
if
making
you took
sure.
it like... If you took it along to like a, the Crown Life Computer Center, you'd get extra dice.
Yeah,
but this is
Okay.
you on the spot with your laptop, just plug in wires in and...
Yeah. Thank you for your patience while I get accustomed to this new game system. It's a 6 and a 2, so...
Okay. Everything seems normal right up until the last 10 seconds, where the timestamp on the recording goes completely berserk. You can see that there is a file, and it is fully recorded biometric data. And you can see that this file has been played hundreds of times in less than a second. So the timestamp on the recording goes completely wackadoo. And the emotional sort of state readout and the hormone readout and just everything says Aragaki went from straight and level, quite bored, looking to get home, to in a heightened sense of fear and terror and anger, the likes of which you haven't seen. And you have access to this file now.
This is fascinating. So first off, I do not want to look at this file. I want to investigate it. I do not want to immediately watch it because that will probably,
Just pipe it right
it's-
through to your eyes.
This is no. I remember Boma, please. But this is really. I'm glad you told me about option 3 because this really sounds like a grudge kind of thing. I have to wonder if it was either some sort of subliminal mnemonic to jack up this guy's endocrine system through subliminal suggestion, or if it was some sort of a personal vendetta screed that is meant to communicate a very pointed message to this guy that would induce him to suicide. Either way, I think this is going to be the key. Is there a way to extract this file and put it on a we put it into
absolutely.
our
floppy disk.
You can get it somewhere nice and safe and
Betamax.
let's
have it.
get this out.
It's physical media. We'll put it somewhere on physical media.
Let's take this out and get this quarantine before we squeeze this egg yolk back into the shell.
That's fair.
Great.
Okay, let's cut over to the crime scene. Thankfully, you guys don't have to go that far to get to the site of the assassination. It's been cordoned off by uniformed officers.
Rika stands on the edge of the roof, looking over the crime scene. She took the instruction while she climbed up to the roof access on the hangar and walked over. She's been standing up here for about 10 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck she was gonna glean from standing up here before she hooks the rappel kit to her. Because even though she has impact compensators, she's not stupid enough to ruin the concrete in front of their new place.
Yeah,
She's
the
gonna rappel
sidewalk doesn't
down.
have impact compensators.
Yeah, I mean, when you first started your new job, you're probably hoping for day one that was better than this. There's uniformed officers that are trying to keep the entire site contained. The drains have been blocked off, so nothing blows away. It's still annoying to be back here this early. Nihamashi is the suburbs of Newport City, and Nihamashi has 15 million people in it. And well, it's actually 14,999,999 after last night and your collective fuck up. But hey, nobody's perfect. There's blood on the podium with a white outline where the minister collapsed when he died. It has a little yellow sign next to it with a numeric 1 on it. A few bullet casings from the shots that were fired have more little yellow signs next to them. The drains have been closed, and one of the uniformed officers is standing off to the side with a tablet computer in his hands, and he's sucking on a pen as he fumbles with the screen, scrubbing forwards and backwards over footage that was taken by news crews from last night. He points with the pen. No, to your right? No, your other right. Yep. Okay. Another uniformed officer moves a sign reading Co-Hero, Channel Top News slightly to the right. It looks like they're trying to reconstruct a map of where everyone was standing in the direction they were facing. Give me an observation roll if anyone's at the crime scene site. Give me just a quick sort of glance over.
So it's 2d6s, so it's a D rating for both intelligence and observation, so I would roll 2d6, right? I got a 6 and a 3.
Okay, yeah, that's all you need. Okay. You can see that there's signs of the struggle on the podium. As you look at it, and as you kind of think back to what happened last night, you can see that Aragaki wasn't fighting out of aggression. He was showing like sudden terror and panic. Something happened to him that scared the hell out of him.
I think Rika would want to go. So the footage that the guy has access to, I think Rika would want to tap into that. Is there a way I can pull that data into my cyber eyes without like talking to the man sucking on a pin? I don't want to interact with these guys. They suck.
Why don't you make friends?
It's the uniformed officers.
Okay, Rika's gonna walk over and to establish she's still in the outfit from last night. She did not make it home because the commute after that late night thing and then coming back, she told her husband, I'll just get a hotel in the city. She barely got to use it and she's already back on the job. So she's in full uniform, but
oh no,
she's outside. She does have a jacket on because I assume it's cold this time of year.
Yeah, it's gonna start
even though
snowing
she
like any second.
Definitely doesn't need one. But I think she walks over and asks, "Can I access that data?" and pulls a cord out of her neck to offer
Here's
it.
a question: do you think you cleaned the uniform? Because you did go for the guy that shot himself.
I think she's like pulled the jacket to try and cover some. I think she like did it in the sink after and was like, I could ask On if she has like Tide to go pens for this or like Clorox
Which
wipes.
she absolutely does.
But I'm so tired. So she washed that out in the hotel room. The maid is gonna find a bloodstained sink. It's gonna be a thing. But she's like worn the jacket to kind of cover it, but it's very obviously still got the dried blood splatter on it.
Sure. Hey, sure. And the uniform like hands you the pad. He kind of has never met a fully cyberized person before. He just holds it out. He does. It's not like he's offering. It's like he's kind of holding it out for you to do something with it.
I think since Rika's recently cyberized, she is not accustomed to the servos, so to say. And so I think she snatches it with a bit too quick of a swipe before she plugs it in.
Oh, they
like
take a half step back.
unintentionally. Yeah. So Rika is going to take that and walk to the podium, and she's going to try and go back through the footage to see where he was looking right before the hack happened, which in Rika's mind, it was a hack. She's still running on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me a insight roll. You can do an insight roll, so that's a D8 and a D6, or you can do a tech use roll, which is a D6 and a D6.
I'll do the D8 plus D6.
That's fair.
I got a 4 and a 3.
Okay, so that's coming up as nothing. It feels like they've sent a square peg to a round hole.
I'm not good at this.
Yeah, that's fair. You have it is a data cloud that is happening in front of you. It is 1,000 points of Gaussian splat, just kind of volumes of points of shapes of things that kind of look like people. You can get a decent layout of where people, like the uniforms are doing a really good job of like putting down little signs that match up with where people are. Actually getting something useful out at this stage, that's going to be quite challenging.
I think I'm going to take a copy of the data, not physical media. She's just going to download it to her cyber brain and offer the tablet back by tossing it at the guy. Just a little too high. She hasn't gotten her new short angle down yet. Is there anything else I could kind of glean from this scene? My character and I are too dumb to know anything else to try here. But is there anything else I could glean from the crime scene that isn't so apparent?
Yeah, there's absolutely tons of it. you can scrub around in the footage and you can see that there's like a couple of like person-shaped blobs that don't have like little yellow signs on them. The chances are that there's not a conspiracy by the people that make little yellow signs to just have like murders happen so that people keep buying little yellow signs. So it's probably related to that.
But this is compelling.
Slim, but not impossible.
Clearly, you don't know about big yellow sign.
Big little yellow sign.
I think I would, because it'd be big and yellow.
Another thing that I think you'll find eventually is it's down next to one of the drains, and it is an inhaler, and it is not typically, it's not the sort of one that you would see people use for like respiratory conditions. It's not an asthma inhaler. It is silvered. It has a little glass ball at the top and a thick, dark red liquid on the inside of it. You have no idea. Oh, actually, you can make a connections roll.
Rika turns this over in her hand, and it reminds her of her daughter's asthma inhaler and how it's not like that one. Her daughter is, as you know, a full human and suffers from asthma.
Okay, everyone's taking notes on Rika's daughter, right?
Anyway, I'm going to do a connections, so a D8 plus a D6. I got 1 6.
Nice.
And 1 2.
That's fine. So long as it's not one, you're good. You recognize this substance. You recognize that this is a vial of something called Soviet hardcore. This is I have done so much research into Ghost in the Shell shit, you have no idea. It is a designer drug that helps people become better hackers. It lets the brain move faster than the body and makes it so the only limits on speed and force that you can put behind stuff is your hardware. It is very expensive. It is very rare. You can think of a couple of places in the city that you'd be able to go and get it. And the one that's closest to this place is a club called Perestroika.
Oh my god.
Because of course it is.
Niko's cheesing it so hard right now.
The last thing I want to do in this scene is my favorite thing that they do in Ghost in the Shell, which is I call up my boss to tell her what I found. So Rika gets on comms with Anne just like an hour after they had this discussion and is like, boss, found some Soviet hardcore at the crime scene. I think it might be related. There's some clubs in town, but I think I know which one it might be at. Also, you know anything about little yellow warning signs?
I don't know where this will interact in the timeline, but we'll assume it's at some point where An is in her midlife crisis mobile. As we established in session 0, everybody else has a standard issue car. An has, they're like the Subaru convertibles. Like, they're not like American muscle car convertibles. They're the little Asian compact convertibles. It is cherry red. It is so incongruous with her whole put together. This is the kind of woman you expect to be driving a champagne Porsche Cayenne, and instead she's driving a little midlife crisis mobile. Anyway, she's got the top up right now in deference to the fact that it is cold and might snow later, and she doesn't want to ruin the interior. So she takes the call, and she's sitting in the driver's seat, and she's like, Perestroika. All right, fortunately, I do have Russian loaded onto my language processor. I can go with you if you'd like me to do some talking there to try to see if we can find a source on this. As it is, I'm still going over what I've learned from the family, but I can meet up with you soon.
All right, I'll drop you a pin. Gotta head by the armory. You're gonna send over that authorization form I asked for, right?
You've sent the appropriate details, right?
I'll fill them in later. I gotta go. The beat cops need some help. And then she hangs up.
On just like rolls her eyes, but I think she's already like got a form like halfway filled out, and she'll just like finish filling. Yeah, like she anticipated that this was not gonna be a thing. She just likes to give. She just likes to stress out her subordinates for no reason. Anyway.
Classic manager shit.
Yep.
Bruno, what's up, buddy?
I am, I guess, trying to like run facial data or something on the person. If I saw a face on the person I saw, kind of not reacting very panickedly.
Okay, yeah.
which is
absolutely.
an adverb.
So that would be a quick trip to the sort of crime level. You can have a tech use roll. You can have advantage on that. There is CME Grieg, who is there to help with any sort of technical related stuff, like kind of little kind of dark brown hair, curly hair, almost translucently pale Scottish guy. If you need to know what that looks like, just look in the top right corner of your screen.
You know.
No, I was using my theater of the mind. Okay, you said tech use, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Woo! Okay. Woo!
Okay. You got advantage as well because of your you're in the sort of right lab. Yeah, you can have another 1d8.
Nice.
Nice, 2 successes. That's great. You're able to pull back and forth through the footage. You find the minister. You find the special advisor for the minister. You see the crew of Section 8. So you 4, you see the analysts. You see the armorers. You see the engineers. You see the section chief there. A lot of the cameras caught people in the backgrounds of places like concerned citizens, people that weren't happy that the Air Force Base and aircraft hangar was being given over to this group of people that have been essentially told, just go solve crimes, I guess. It's a huge aircraft hangar that's been abandoned since the Third World War. If you're familiar with Pat Labor 2 and where like special vehicle
I was literally going to say I love Pat Labor 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Me and the Pat Labor.
There's bits of this in here. I watched Pat Labor 1, 2, and 3 in the run up to this. Don't watch the third one.
You enjoyed 3 the most, right?
Oh, it was really the good one. So, you found that everyone else at the scene of the crime is explainable. There's ministers, there's concerned citizens. You can look on like social media and be like, this person really supports this being done. This person really opposes it being done. No one really shows up as like, this person's just deeply unhinged. Everyone there makes sense, but there's one person that doesn't come up on any registry. They don't have a social media profile. They don't have a police record. They have essentially nothing. But it is the person that you saw not moving very quickly. Tall, athletic, with close-cropped hair and a fairly wide face. Brown eyes and look a little bit bloodshot when you look at the footage. Deep lines along his brow that show that he spent more of his life frowning than smiling. You rewind the footage and see that about a minute before the death, he has something in his hand that he brings up to his mouth, and he squeezes like a little glass vial on top of it, and he becomes a whole lot twitchier. He's identifiable if you knew what to look for, but he's not coming up on any registry.
Okay. Alice and Niko's conversation, I brought a question to my mind, which is, are we to assume that we're basically in constant communication with each other? Like, would I be caught up on everyone else's progress and stuff at this point?
Absolutely.
I mean?
I think the assumption is that everyone has
we're
like,
on the group
cell phones.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are checking in.
Like you can log evidence through your phone. Yes.
I'm gonna send that guy. Probably a GIF of that guy doing the inhaler meth or something to the group chat.
You made a GIF?
It's called Turbo Adderall, and some of us need it.
I need everything in the form of a GIF.
Yeah, everyone gets like a little useful ping of information.
Okay. On is gonna isolate a still of this guy before he takes the hit, just for her records. So.
And then I will probably, I'm imagining I'm in one of those big apparatuses where you pull the thing up to your face. Do you know what I mean? And so I kind of climb out of that and thank the tech guy. And then I guess I'm going to just offer to come to the club. That seems like the thing to do next for the leads that,
Sure.
So I guess I just like radio it and I'm just like, well, if you need a +1, let me know. I'm, done here. Hi, actually, quick question for On. How far away do you live? How far away, would you live if you were living in your own house?
The hotel I live in.
Yeah.
The hotel I live in is like downtown in the nice business district. I think my house, I had a good amount of money, so I don't think it's in the suburbs the way Rika's house is. I think it's actually fairly close to town. It's one, okay, so you know those neighborhoods, like, sort of close to Tokyo that still have, like, traditional-looking suburban houses? They're just pressed close together, and they have traditional Japanese architecture, and, like, way too nice landscaping. That's what it is. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
so
it. The Cardcaptor
close.
Soccer House. That's what I live in.
Yeah. Also, is this a Yakuza character? Anyway.
Yeah. I didn't. It's quite hard to find like available character art for
this is the
this
meth
many
guy?
characters. Yeah, this is the meth
shit.
guy.
No, it's great.
I'm gonna have
it's
a
great.
problem.
I love it.
Yeah, that's Saijima.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. Oh, I guess I did go home and change. So I'm in more of a I guess since nobody else here is courageous enough to do it, I guess I'll be the guy who wears suits that are too big for me. Generally.
Hey, first off, thank you
for your sacrifice.
Does every squad need one?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm already the Togusa in so many other ways. I might as well be that way too.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go to Anne.
So Anne went back to her hotel room. Very impersonal. Anyway, she immediately put her outfit from the night before out for dry cleaning, and changed into kind of like the outfit you would pick to look maximally cozy when you were going to comfort some very traumatized people. Hi, Cosmo.
Max comfy.
Yeah, so she's changed into sort of a cream turtleneck, still slacks, but she has sort of a dove gray overcoat, and just like lower heels, softer suede boots. You know, I think she's got a big purse on her, so she looks a little bit more like an everyday working woman. And she's let her hair down, which is very curly and full. It's Sandra Oh hair. So yeah, she's done soft makeup as opposed to kind of the sharp, rigid makeup she had last night. A lot of concealer to cover both a bruise that she had from that interaction, but also like she didn't get much sleep last night. So yeah, so she's done up, and she goes and hops in her Mazda MX-5 and now that I've looked up what car it is, and heads out to see the minister's family.
Sure. You travel out of Newport City itself, and southwest, following along one of the rivers leading out of the city center. As you exit, you kind of find yourself driving through the parts of the city that are less glamorous. A lot of the really tall buildings in the city have been built to highlight the return to form that Japan has had following the Third World War and the Japanese miracle with the micro machines that are helping to scrub radiation from all the environments. But there are huge swathes that by this point, they're just not there yet. It's not, it's 2025. It is not that long since the war ended. Everything's still a little bit fraught and a little bit in flight. And as you get out further, the GPS system in your car registers where you are, and it switches the air from exterior to sort of interior flow only, just for a little bit while you drive through. Yeah, it's challenging out here. You drive through down one of the highways, and it takes about an hour to get to where you're going to. You have a fairly awkward phone call with one of your collaborators who's asking if you've been willing to defraud the armory, I think is kind of one of the things that they were after. By the time you arrive at the rather nice ministerial house, you've driven through several wee villages, and you find yourself in front of this nice square one-floor house, white walls, kind of millennial grey door, peaked roof with a patio off to the side of it, very small front garden. There's a deck round the back that has a hot tub on it, and you can see that there's already a car parked outside the front. you head on up to the front door, press the doorbell, and after about 10 seconds, you find that Mr. Aragaki's wife, Cassandra, has opened the door. She is standing there. She looks at you with a deep, cruel scowl on her face.
The first thing On does is bow deeply and say, "I'm very sorry for your loss." And in the same gesture, she pulls out her ID and shows it. Not that the woman wouldn't know who she is at this point, but just to make a formal introduction. "I'm On Mitsutaki with the new Section 8. I came by to offer my condolences, but also, of course, to ask a few questions in aid of the investigation into your husband's death."
You can see that there's an immediate softening to her. She was convinced that this was another reporter that is looking for a quote. And now that this hasn't happened, she's just kind of relaxed a little bit. You can kind of see that she's holding it together. Give me a quick insight roll.
Insight. I have an A in empathy, but a D in insight. Yeah, that's on. That's on.
Naturally gifted.
Yeah. All right, so Okay, I got a 7 on the D12.
You can see that she's holding it together. She's got about 20 minutes in her before she just kind of suffers a collapse. Like, you've got like...
So I think On picking up on that is going to do what she can to extend that time by kind of just briefly and subtly taking over this woman's life a little bit. So she lets the woman let her into the house. But then when it comes down to the formalities of like, would you like some water or tea? On is like, well, tea would be nice. But then when the woman is clearly like, doing that thing people are kind of out of it or doing, like you're just kind of banging around in your kitchen, like, where did I put the tea leaves? On just kind of slides in and takes over preparing just like a very nice jasmine tea and goes, sit down. I can take care of this. No worries. And does this kind of whole song and dance basically to create a very comforting atmosphere where the woman has to do very, very little.
Yeah, that's really good of you. Thank you.
Now, obviously, On's doing it in service of the investigation, but anyway.
One of the questions I have is like, are you doing it to be like, is this actually sort of care and compassion, or are you just trying to get what you want out of? Okay.
Yeah. No, On is definitely performing this. But I think it's the kind of performance that, like, if you've mostly been dealing with reporters, it's probably very comforting.
Give me an empathy plus manipulation.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that.
One of the things I'm quite good at. Yep, that's a A and a B. Okay.
It's one of the things I'm good at.
Manipulating widows.
I might be divorced. Well, that one's a 10. The manipulation one's a 10.
Let's go.
So that is just 2 successes straight off the top.
Manipulate
well done.
widows.
I think what I'll give for this one is you can ask 2 questions and you'll get 100% honest answers.
Okay.
And then I will give you 10 minutes of just like exploring the house.
Okay.
When you're inside, you can see that there is a home office. There's the living room downstairs. There's a kitchenette, which is off to the side of it. Upstairs, there is 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a little storeroom as well.
So yeah, I think On does the pleasantries, does like the preamble conversation, and then when they get into it, she says, "Now, of course, I have to ask this. Did your husband have any enemies or any close contacts that made you uncomfortable?"
She takes a sip of the tea. My husband was he became a cabinet minister recently. He was a backbencher for the party until 2 years ago, and he was recommended to take over the position of public security minister, and I suppose it could have been. That's a very broad remit. It could have been. I can't think of anyone that I would know off the top off my head that would know that. I don't think every politician has people that dislike them, but I don't think nothing like this has ever happened before. He didn't like to bring his work home with him, so I stayed out of his office, and he made sure the office didn't come into the rest of the house, as it were. He he was always very careful about keeping separation there.
That's quite honorable of him to do, says On, who absolutely did not do that in her own marriage.
I wonder why it went the way it did.
Don't worry about it. Hey, I didn't blow my brains out. Anyway.
Wow.
On will, she'll consider that. And then she asks as sort of a follow-up. Was there a specific period of time other than his recent appointment? Was there something recently in which your husband seemed particularly stressed or depressed, or
he would never have done something like this to himself. His work's very boring. He one time I found out that he was working on a project called the Fisheries Commission Review of Modern Sustainable Practices. There was the meeting of the John Smith Society for Economic Development and Free Market Regulation. And there was it was always things named stuff like the Future Planning Committee. I'm sure it was very worthy work. But I think when he moved from being a backbencher to being a cabinet level minister, it seems like some of the more local work started to get forgotten about. And there are some villages around here that this district is seen as a safe seat. People are never going to vote against what the NKP wants here. So if someone gets brought in and said, this is the man from the NKP, please vote for him, people usually will. And I think that after the war and after the sort of confusion and trouble that fell out of all that, I think it's only understandable that tensions have maybe been a little bit higher, but I don't think anyone would do anything like this. I don't see why he would do this to himself. I'm just so confused.
Okay. On is going to gently press her hand, and she's like, so there's just 2 things I need from you, and then we'll wrap up here. One, could I ask you to take a look at an image? And she is going to show her the image of the man from the crowd, the still before he did turbo meth, just like a picture of a man. Is this man familiar to you in any way?
She looks at it, and there is a good 10 seconds where she's just staring at the picture. She shakes her head.
Okay. The only other thing I'll ask from you is if you would mind giving me access to the office. I'll check through his files just to be thorough. But of course, since he kept everything sort of sequestered there, I don't imagine I'll need anything else from you, and I can leave you in peace.
Yes, absolutely. But he had his official parliamentary office as well.
Yes, we'll be sure to take a look at it. I just wanted to... she presses her hand again and says, I just wanted to visit with you first, because I'm sure you're getting a lot of attention that is very uncomfortable, and I wanted to make sure that I reached out to you and made sure you knew that Section 8 is doing everything in our power to look into this case and determine what happened. We don't believe your husband did this to himself willingly. And
you're saying he was murdered?
That is our preliminary judgment. The facts of the case are simply too... Yeah, and I do think... On is not a hugger, so I think On just sort of limply leaves her hand on top of this woman's, and she sits with her, but it's one of those things that it's like, On gave her this detail specifically because it would probably be a relief to know that your husband didn't just publicly Bud Dwyer himself, so to speak.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're playing in this space.
No, yeah.
Look away if this image might disturb you. But also just to kind of see if that shook anything else loose. But yeah, she doesn't really know what to do with this emotional reaction other than just sitting there. So I think it's probably cathartic for the widow, but deeply uncomfortable for On. So she's just sitting there.
Okay, yeah. It lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it becomes weird for you much faster than it becomes weird for her.
I think On tries to move it along a little bit she pulls out 2 things. She pulls out a silk handkerchief, which I think is a very kind of old-fashioned affectation. I honestly think that this is kind of a hangover from her modeling days. Like, she saw someone do this, and then she decided to just copy it. And so she hands over her silk handkerchief, and she also hands over her business card, which I think
it's a formal line drawn under something.
Yeah. I think Section 8 does not have business cards yet. But once On learned that she was going to be taking on this role, she had some made up that have her personal cell phone number and was just planning to replace them once actual business cards came out. But the moment that she kind of got the appointment nod, she immediately went out and took care of these professional details. So she has a business
not
card.
Even cold.
Yeah, well, anyway, she hands over the business card.
Okay, yeah.
How many sides does a business card have in the year, whatever year it is?
I think it's like the Battlestar Galactica pieces of paper. So it's like
everything's a hexagon.
It's like a little hexagon. It's like corners cut off it.
I do think this is one of those things that it like half has like a very small like RFID microfilament or whatever where you can get like additional information. Like if you tap it on your phone or whatever, it probably adds her contact information to your phone, complete with a beautiful headshot of her. That was professionally taken. But anyway, she offers it and she's like, if you think of anything else, please reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out. For now, I'll leave you be for a little while and take a little time in his office, gather what information I can, and then I'll check in with you before I head out. Does that sound all right?
That's fine, but please be quick.
Yes, of course. So yeah, On's gonna hustle off to the office.
Sure. You find it's another small room, like barely 10 feet by 10 feet. Desk on the far wall looking out over the street. There is a campaign poster from his first sort of ministerial effort. There's also a little kind of handout playbill thing from the first ever ministerial hustings that he ever attended and took part in. It's a lot of sort of old school mementos of his life in politics. There's a computer on the table, a jacket, old style like paper Rolodex full of names and numbers. It feels like a sort of like hangover from the 90s. You can give me an academics roll to have a Scooby round.
Okay, let me take a look here.
You can also roll for doobie around.
I've heard Ghost say a wee village and a Scooby around, and now I'm like, I don't even need to go to Scotland.
You're like, I'm actually...
I know there's one other person that listens in Scotland, and I'm sure they're having a great time right now.
Quick thing. I don't have academics on my sheet. Did that replace something?
Hang on a minute. Where is it? It'll be in one of the half dozen tabs I have open.
Would it be an observation instead, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, because I'm looking at the skills.
Observation, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're totally fine. I do want to note, I think On, knowing that she has limited time, is going to lift out the contents of the Rolodex. I assume it's like one of those plastic ones that's kind of like round, almost like barrel-shaped with a lid that slides. And then it has like the inner... like tube that all the exactly like that. So On is basically going to open the lid on that and just kind of compress all the cards and just take the whole roll out and sort of put that in her purse. So she's taking that with her, and then she closes the case again so it doesn't look as intrusive. And then she's gonna Scooby around on the computer.
For people listening, Iris does have one of those Rolodexes.
Yeah, Iris literally
and she just
picked
showed
up
it
a
to
classic Rolodex.
Yeah.
All right, that's a...
Okay, that's my husband's. That's not mine, to be clear. He's the one with the 80s drip.
Oh, it's so good. All right, this is 2d10s, so intelligence and observation, so...
Yeah.
Okay, rolling. Okay, I got a 6.
Nice.
Oh, I got an 8 and a 6, okay.
Yeah, that's two successes. So what you can tell is you have a list of names. There's lots of names and numbers here. From like a pure networking perspective, this has been a really great day for you. From like a solving crimes perspective, this might actually not be that great in terms of its immediate usefulness. You can see that Minister Aragaki on the computer is like, he's deeply fastidious about maintaining records. You can see expenses are recorded down to individual sort of spends on like a sandwich while traveling, and all of it is written with like the time that something happened, and it's got the date that something happened. And
I think in particular, I do want to narrow in on the John Smith Society for Free Market Regulation.
Yeah, you have a look at that. I'm sure our listeners at home will have noticed that I'm not Brennan Mulligan, so the enemy is not always going to be capitalism. You find rather sharply that this is an organization from the US. Mm-hmm. They seem to be entirely upfront and honest for whatever value of honest an organization that names itself after Adam Smith can be honest. The guy that invented the concept of the invisible hand of the free market, like, come on, like, there's some sinister shit in there, but it doesn't feel like it's sinister shit that's directly tied to this one.
Yeah, On was mostly taking a look because I think On's read on the situation as that Aragaki may not have personally victimized someone in the way that we think of like one-to-one revenge, but he was likely a component in something. So she was looking at the organizations he was part of, the panels, the boards, things like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Smart.
You find that there's a bunch of those. He was a very busy minister. For your crit success, what I'm going to say is the one that has the most generic name feels like it's the one that's probably the most like fishy. And I say that you having just mentioned something about a fisheries like commission, but that's not the one. The Future Planning Committee.
Fishing is very exciting, actually.
You didn't know that tides were a thing. The Rolodex is basically the only part that's left over. Unfortunately, ministerial security does mandate that there be a distinct lack of shit that you can just leave on a train.
Yeah, that's fair. So I think On takes her phone or whatever and takes a picture of the screen that looks so bad it has the scan lines from the CRT monitor. But she takes a picture of the screen with the whatever details are available on the Future Planning Committee.
Sure. Yeah, you open up one of the files about the Future Planning Committee, and you find that it is completely empty.
So a very empty photograph. So I think...
You know that someone who kept records of my expense reports for this ham sandwich, and this file over here is just completely fucking empty.
Actually, you know what? I realized because On is analog, I don't think she would have taken a picture. She pulls out a notebook from her purse, and she has an expensive, like, fountain pen, like a Future fountain pen.
Yes!
And then, like,
Let's
beautiful
go.
script, like, beautiful handwriting. She writes out, like, the Future Planning Committee, no records, unusual. And notes
I fucking
that
love
down.
Killing Eve.
Yeah, I do love Killing Eve, actually. We are going Eve Pilastri mode. So I think she caps her pen and she puts her notebook and her pen away, and she has the contents of the Rolodex to look at later, when she's not going home and probably drinking in her hotel room. She stands up from the desk, like she perfectly positions the desk chair where it was. She looks at the scene before she turns to leave the little office, and like her eyes scan over, you know, like the hopeful, badly graphic designed, like first stab ministerial poster. And like this was a person who felt impassioned to help his local community, and he blew his brains out on TV in front of God and everybody and his wife. And so with that kind of quiet, like despair, I think she closes the door and then makes her goodbyes with his widow and takes off.
Sorry, real quick. Can I, so you wrote it down. You didn't send a photo. Okay. So I actually have no way of knowing any of this yet. Never mind.
Well, I do think I will get in the car and I will hop on a call. Also, Iris, this art is incredible. Anyway.
So one thing I'm going to do.
Screaming.
One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go cut back to Sosi, or as I've written it down, Saorise, which is kind of, I don't know which one it is. Sorry, what were you doing with the file that you had?
Yes, me. What I'm doing with the file that I had
Yeah, so we've got it quarantined. I'm thinking that we need to investigate it. But however we do it, I'm probably going to need to use some sort of a dummy barrier first.
Yeah.
Just to
Like a
keep
secondary
it
brain.
from. Yeah. So I'm thinking that if we have a dummy barrier in place, we can probably investigate it by first scanning it for any sort of obvious malware implanted in it, and then we could probably just go ahead and play the file.
Give me a tech use roll with advantage. You are in your element. You have the sort of full sort of database of equipment and gear in front of you.
Roger.
What's your hacking setup look like?
It is the 9-screened computer cube interface from the movie Codename Swordfish.
Oh my god.
I'm screaming. I'm so bad.
All right, that's a 10 and a 4, so pretty good.
Yeah, excellent. So that's 2 successes straight off the bat. You have a dummy barrier set up. You have an air gap between this and the rest of the equipment in the building. This is as safe as you can make it. You try to scan it for malware and sort of obvious nastiness, but the file is too big. It is you open it and it is so much data. It is biometric data that is, it feels like it's a minute of everything. Emotional state, cortisol levels, all audio, all visual stuff, all like tactile feedback, every sense being digitized and recorded and pulled into what is essentially a massive database. You know that this is like, there's rumors of these machines called ghost dubbing machines, and this is the sort of thing that like they could potentially do something like this, but this is so far beyond that. The amount of data that is just here, it is astonishing.
Yeah, this isn't just a simple video or audio file. This is a full sensorium that's been recorded for just a minute of time, which, you know, brains on average generally filter out like 95% or so of all the stuff we're sensing at a given point in time. So that is a massive amount of input. So when it was replayed over and over again, that means that this guy basically experienced kind of a solid state.
A solid state society.
Sorry.
A solid memory that he had to experience several times, which probably was what jacked up his endocrine system. Is there any way that we can experience that? Is there any way we can open the file? Is it able to be played at all?
Yeah,
or
you can play it.
Okay. Yeah, let's give it a
Are you going to play it on a screen, or are you going to play it in your head?
Can we play it on a screen so that my head doesn't explode from this?
That's totally fair.
Why don't we just pull up visuals and audio? I don't need smell-o-rama here.
Sure. You can get like this visual sort of readouts of other bits. You can see the first frame of it. It is a black screen with a red letterbox shaped light in the middle of it that's kind of gently glowing, and there's a ringing that's playing. There's a reading that says you can taste copper in your mouth and you can feel something warm trickling down the side of your left ear. Slowly, very slowly, you can hear a voice yelling from inside your head. An identifier appears at the bottom right of your vision, tucked in below the status readout of the vitals of whoever this was. They're injured. It's not bad, but the wave of adrenaline that's keeping them afloat right now will only last for so long. The view turns and an arm reaches up and grabs at the hatch that's directly in front of you, turning the bar and cranking it open. The warm air inside the metal shell that you're in all of a sudden cools. The temperature on the skin drops. There's a gentle tinkling of the hull on the hull that suddenly becomes a lot louder. Small arms fire. There's a whizzing sound of bullets overhead. A release of hormones is tracked. The temperature drops, and it takes a fraction of a second for the eyes to adjust to the new light overhead. You can see a night sky, you can see a constellation, you can see stars that make a wonderful celestial display above. Everything's so vivid. Velvet blackness of the sky and the diamonds that are glittering and tracer fire speeding across your vision. Sound off. Who's still vertical? Long shots with me. Wire's still here, Cap. Ah, fuck. Sneak. Spectre. Doc. A voice directly beside you. Doc. It's a voice that you know. Well, not you know, but there's a feeling of comfort and familiarity that comes over on the hormones in the endocrine system. You climb up out of the hatch of the spider tank. The vehicle's leg has been crippled and its power's gone out. It's slumped to the side in the swamp, stuck and sinking. You look over at Doc, who has her pistol drawn. You don't see any identifiers on her. Not a flag, not a name tag, nothing. Guilty, you say, declaring yourself alive. There's a pang of emotion in the name, a rising feeling of guilt and frustration. It's not anger, it's not fear. There's some internal conflict there with the chosen name. In the cold winter evening of the world outside the tank, you see the person that announced themselves as Doc. She's pretty. You see her face just long enough before she's struck with a high-powered rifle round. Her head shatters. She falls towards you, warm matter spilling down the front of your body as she's instantly killed. You reach for the handgun she had, take it, and with a deep pain scream, begin to return fire as you fall off the side of the mobile tank. There's ringing in your ears and everything other than the emergency lights have gone out. You can taste copper in your mouth and feel something warm trickling down the side of your head towards your left ear. And this plays over and over and over again.
Oh my god. Ah! Ghost be like,
but what could it mean?
Whoa! Holy smokes!
What do we call On? Like, what's On's rank? Do we just say
what's
boss?
The rank?
I think she has a military rank or like an she has some kind of formal designation within public sector. But I think it's just Ms. On. Or Ms.
Okay,
Mizutaki.
what do I call you if that's true, but I'm living in your house? Are we on a first name basis or?
I don't think she knows you're living in her house.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm down for On to know that you live there and to like have just like been like, can you house sit and water my plants? And she has like one fern and it's just like, it's not a job. It's very transparently like live in my house because I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
That's the saddest, like it's oof.
Yeah.
Everything
welcome
okay?
to it.
It's a depression succulent.
Hey, I take good care of it. I'm not like squatting like trashing it.
Yeah.
Whether we could all live in a big house. I'm still living in that freaking trailer.
Here's the thing. We have to unlock that as a secret ending to resolving the divorce subplot. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. We're not even close to there.
Yeah, no. 0% progress has been made.
Yeah, so far you've been through shift 1, which is unless there's any sort of particular follow-up you want to do from the traumatic revelation of what made Minister Aragaki terms of service himself.
Yeah. First off, that was a lot. Second off, let's see. What can we pull from this footage? We know that this was some sort of paramilitary operation. We know there's a spider tank involved. We know it was in some sort of wetland type setting. We know people whose call signs were Doc, Spectre, Sneak, Longshot, and Cap were all involved. So this is some sort of strike team or patrol team. Do the uniforms don't have any sort of flags or name tags or anything, which leads me to believe that it's some sort of covert ops unit. So going through the front door with the regular JSCF or military probably won't get us anywhere. So we're going to have to use back channels on this one.
It is worth pointing out that they were all speaking Japanese.
Yeah, right. So they're probably working for Japan, but probably not in an official capacity if they don't have any sort of identifying markers on them.
What does On's cyberspace lobby look like? She's not cyberized.
I've not cyberized, but I could probably join your call, but I probably am like, it's equivalent
like
of
when you join VR chat.
Yeah, we all have avatars, but On just has like the big sound only pillar from Evangelion.
Oh, maybe we don't meet in On's lobby then. Maybe we meet in Doc's.
Oh yeah, Saorise.
Saoirse's?
Yeah, I feel like Saoirse would have like a pretty cool lobby for us to hang out in.
Knocking all the empty monster cans off of the virtual shelf in her lobby.
It's absolutely like fucking gamer girl cave in there. But vibe out. Join the conversation pit. Let's figure this out.
Rika just has her arms crossed the whole time in cyberspace Bato style. I just need to be very clear with that up front.
But you're like this big.
There's clearly an LED adorned beanbag in this, and given the touchstones that you gave, so I'm gonna be sitting in one of those. But no, he's actually pretty newbie. He's only been on the force for 2 years. He's like 25 or something.
So do you play the footage for us so we can review it?
I think so, yeah. Like again, I'm playing it so that it's at like it is at a remove. It is on screens. You are not like, it is not the full sensorium experience, so that you're not like, I'm not all just foisting this upon you. But yeah, I'm screening it for the group, so we're all caught up.
On is reviewing this, and I think she basically goes, pause the footage, and has it pause when the person tips their head back to look at the stars, and goes, can we cross-reference this to find out what region of the world this conflict took place in?
Smart.
Rika goes, yeah, I heard about this. I heard that they have positioning for satellites that'll just read where the stars are to know exactly where something is.
I think I also read that article.
Popular military magazine.
I think I also read that article. But when it was mentioned, yeah. I can't believe we both have a New Yorker subscription, Rika. Anyway, no.
It's some sort of American hardware.
But yeah, so I think she'll try to pull us as clean of a still as she can, but then pass it off to someone who's better equipped. I guess that would just be you, Saoirse, who'd be better equipped to do the cross-referencing.
I can check that, yeah.
Yeah.
But what is this minister? Rika is the character who asks the question, so you can all expose. But what's this minister guy got to do with this Black Ops group? Doesn't make any sense why they want to knock him off.
I think it's fairly obvious. If he was serving on this organization we have sparse information on, this future planning committee, I would venture a guess that it has something to do with this conflict. He may just be the first in a line of people that whoever this assailant is going to be targeting.
You said that he was neglecting a lot of his more local duties once he got moved up in position as minister. Do you think it was somebody who held a grudge over that?
I think On gives you this like witheringly condescending look, and she's like, do you really think someone in a coastal village could have come up with this sort of hardware or gotten their hands on Soviet hardcore?
Okay,
this is clearly someone who is involved in the conflict. If I had to venture a guess, it would be the point of view that we have in the footage.
Well, one, everybody's got to grow up somewhere. Two, we've got to explore every possibility here. I'm just looking at all the data we have and trying to sort it into different.
So would you like to visit the Fisheries Commission, or should I? Would you like to waste my time with that or yours?
Oh.
Well,
come on, boss. She's asking good questions. You know they use those things to cover these things up. Besides, a lot of vets for World War III, cyberized, they went back to poor shacks like that. It's only poor idiots who sign up for the service anyway, and I would know.
I don't know how you sound like you're reading from a script when I know you're not reading from a script. It's incredible.
That's better than what I was going to say, which is I'd rather play Go Fish than Old Maid. But before I get into a fight here.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to interrupt and just say, I'd like to check out the minister's office. Can you get me authorization to On?
In the cabinet, yes. Let me see. So currently, and I think on you hear the shuffling of paper as On is flipping through physical paper, and in cyberspace it's just visualized as her like holding up a finger. Like just one moment. And
it's an
she's
emoji
flipping
finger.
Loud as
On
fuck.
uses Bitmoji in 2050 or whatever.
It's a little chibi VR chat avatar.
No, I feel like she's the kind of person who had a professional cyberspace avatar commissioned and like never uses it, and now it's being used for like work. She had to download a boring content pack to change the outfits. Anyway, so she goes through her notes and she's like, so I have a request here from you, Rika, for access to the armory for reasons as yet undetermined. I don't know who we've got to attack just yet. And then a visit to the minister's office in the cabinet building. One of these is more feasible than the other, given the remit of our investigation. Let me see what I can do. And so On is going to, I was going to pull up the part in working the case where it's like how you tap information. Do you think we could just visit the office as part of the kind of scope of this investigation, or would I have to pull some strings to get?
You are essentially like, your badge is pretty much a warrant for just about anything.
Yeah, so I think all On does is she like fires off a professional email. Yes, she already had her signature formatted much like the business card. She was beyond ready to go at 6 a.m. the following morning after we were funded. So she sends off a number of emails from her professional address that are basically just like courtesy, like, this individual will be coming, and then she lets Bruno know, yes, just present your ID and you're free to visit the office. As far as the armory, let's table that until we have an actionable threat.
Rika does that like Bato half laugh thing where it's like, we'll see how you feel about that after we go to the Russian club.
That is a civilian venue.
Civilian? The Russian mob's all over it. You're green under the ear, boss.
What is this character?
I'm obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with her. Especially visualizing a 4'8" anime character who sounds exactly like this. So I think On just like no sells it and just doesn't respond. But I do think that does actually bring her up short a little bit because she hadn't considered an organized crime presence. So I do think she drafts an email requesting armory access, but doesn't send it just yet.
Rika does say, do we want to still keep apart? I can go to the club myself, tap my contacts there if you want to go muscle your way into the ministry.
I think it would be best if I went with you, Rika, given my Russian language knowledge base. But I would be hanging back. I would mostly be intel for you. If anything did require hands-on approach, then that would be your purview.
I can handle the office. I'm already on my way there.
I will look up star charts.
Are you calling in while driving?
No.
No, says On and Bruno at the same time. On who is flipping through literal paper while driving.
We have self-driving cars. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know that my Mazda is self-driving. I think I might just have a little disregard for my life. Anyway. So yeah.
I'll investigate star charts and see if we can match it to any sort of proxy conflicts that happened in the last 2 decades.
Could you also pull their military records? These guys might be Black Ops, but they all started somewhere. Maybe we can find their squad mates, see if any of them are still alive.
And while you're at it, take a look into that future planning committee. See if you can pull any keywords. I have some files I can send your way. On says this, and what she does not mean is I'm going to forward you some files. What she does mean is at some point a Ziploc bag full of Rolodex will appear on your desk.
Hard copy. Oh, great. Yeah, okay. I can do that, boss.
Okay.
So we have our first countdown event that is happening in the background.
Oh, boy.
It is now snowing. This makes all foot and vehicle chases more challenging. And it also makes all automotive travel that's like not just standard driving happen at a disadvantage. So if you feel like getting into any car chases, good luck.
I bet my Mazda MX-5 has snow tires.
Probably. It does make our neo-noir brooding more ambient, though.
Yeah,
It
right?
does. It
Oh,
does.
that's so good. Honest, like, in my elevator.
For you Blade Runner heads out there, you understand the masculine urge to bleed out at the footsteps of a memory lab in the slow. There you go.
Oh, yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Okay. So as a note, to go to the armory, you don't have to get permission. You can just like rock up. And if you have,
I know I'm doing a lot. I'm doing an extended bit.
Okay.
But I would like to stop by and pick up a weapon that you've listed. And also, I desperately need to know who the Californian is.
Yeah, we do need to find out who the Californian is.
Oh, I thought that was like a newspaper
You could also
or something.
have visited like the special advisor to the minister who's just gonna get fucking put out from the clinic.
Oh, that's right. We had the clinic as an option.
That's fine. Okay, so but let's start with Rika.
Actually, okay, hold on. Rika, Alice.
Yeah.
Real quick.
What's up, gamers?
Do we actually want to divide and have me go to the club and have to call you for backup when it gets messy, but you go to the clinic and get the assistant to the... Because that's a piece we have not covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
To go to the clinic?
Okay.
I mean,
can also
they're
go
just
places.
nice Russians.
You won't be able to get the backup from another player character if they go to a different location.
I was going to say I could be imperiled for a while. That's fine. I'm willing to, because, like, my thinking is On changes into a skank outfit and then goes to the Russian bar to try to get picked up as sort of like a beautiful MILF. And you're doing this investigation, and then if something goes wrong for On in a later scene, we have to deal with it.
Okay. Works for me.
So yeah, I do think we're going to cover more ground and have Rika go after the special advisor to the minister, did you say?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You can just ask for like the clinic to keep him back so he doesn't leave. Like you can shift that around. He is something that you can control. So you can do.
Alice, do you want to do that instead? Just stall him.
Just tell
and
me what to do, boss.
Let's just have him hung up at the clinic for a little while. There's an issue with his insurance, and then me and Alice will go to the club.
Okay.
Plus, we don't have insurance. We have public health here. You just get a card.
Shh, I forgot about places that just have healthcare. Anyway, yeah. So Alice and I will go to the club. The club.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to check out a shotgun before we go. Don't ask me why.
Okay. Yeah. You head off to the armory. And it's you head to the armory and you meet a Mediterranean woman named Tibolo. She is currently like standing at a laptop on a trestle table, typing away. And there's an older guy. She's in her like mid-20s. There's an older guy, heavy set. He's got an American accent, and she looks at him and says, "I don't care what the Germans are calling it. I'm just not going to call it that." "You're just making yourself offline, though. Existing in your own world," says the Americans. "That must be the Californian." Then fucking call it incognito mode. Browsers have had that for decades. It's not a big deal. You're being too sensitive. Oh, big surprise. The guy from the American Empire is saying that woman is being too sensitive about giving a shit about other people's feelings. Full Return is based in California, and California isn't in the American Empire. And so it goes. They're in an argument that doesn't
California
seem like...
isn't in the American Empire?
No, California is actually in the Soviet Republic.
Yeah,
California is a Soviet Republic. Yes.
California?
Yeah, Soviet California.
California, the wave surfs you? I don't know. That's nothing.
No, that was everything, actually.
And so the argument goes, it doesn't seem like it's going to be ending anytime soon. Behind them, though, there's a strange-looking object conjured over a tarpaulin. It's about twice the size of a pickup truck, and lumpen in a way that shows the canvas doesn't exactly scream truck. Very broad base, taller in the back than in the front.
Rika's intrigued, but I've got work to do. So this is one of those Easter eggs where she's gonna visit this later. But she like clears her throat in a way that a cyborg does not need to do, to try and interrupt in the conversation.
It kind of goes back and forth. and the Californian just looks at you, and he says something in English, and I don't know what language you speak. I have a feeling it probably isn't English.
Rika believes that if you live in this country, I can't do that.
All right.
I scarred my own bit.
That's fair.
No,
yeah,
Rika does
Tibolo-
not. She just stares at him.
Tibolo turns around and goes, "Hi, sorry. Don't worry about him. He's American."
Rika just nods her head with the most understanding look on her face.
What can I help with?
Rika says, my boss should have sent over an email. I've got authorization to grab a shotgun from the armory.
Why would your boss need to give you authorization? Okay. She reaches for her phone and starts to scroll through it, just searching for something.
Rika's like, hey, what's under the tarp over there?
It's just some tank thing.
Just some tank thing?
Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see the tank thing.
And she looks at the American. They say something. The American stands up and goes, he holds up a couple of hands and just like moves, grabs the corner of the tarpaulin and just like starts yanking it off. And you see a six-legged, on like sort of wheels, spider tank thing with like a big thing in the back. It is painted camouflage and olive drab. And
hell yeah.
He presses a button and you hear
Wibbles online.
And Tibolo looks and goes, we are working on the voice. I don't think it should be that. He thinks it should be. We're still deciding.
Have we considered a chirpy little Japanese child?
Rika's like, so it just came like that?
Yes, that's how the Americans build these things. We design the software, but they are really good at the engineering and chassis work.
Could I ask? Well, no, I can't because I'm not here. But you know,
no, Rika has sent 15 photos of this to the group chat. Rika is live tweeting.
As soon as it looks like you're taking a picture, the American is like darting in front of you. The Californian's like trying to get like.
So there's like a half-blurry picture of some camo and then an American.
I have a question for later then. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Rika's like, that's cool as hell. We have one of those?
We have one. Japan has two. We have one. This thing is just over from
so
Fullerheim.
There's 3.
Beg your pardon?
There's 3 of them.
No, we have one. Japan has 2.
So we have 3.
We're in Japan.
Right. So about that shotgun.
Holy shit. Okay. She walks away. It looks like she's going towards like...
My aunt had to send an email to say, yes, I'm serious. Give this person a gun. No, this is not a bit. Give this person a gun.
Yeah, you see the Californian, he's wearing sort of engineer's overalls. He's working for a company called Fullerton Electronics. And those of us that know Californian geography will know that Fullerton is one city over from Anaheim. So that's kind of...
I love how Ghost's like, hey, I'm doing a reference. Do we all see my reference?
This section has been
like,
a tachikoma, and it's been this. This is just the big soapy hand job of references that it's been.
I want to talk about a phrase you just used.
No, check out your shotgun and go onto the car. Actually, no, I do think while you are getting a shotgun, An is in her hotel room putting on her skank look.
Her what?
This is her skank look. I don't mean to just keep pulling from Killing Eve, but there are a couple of scenes where Eve Pilastri is like, I have a little slutty dress that I'm going to put on real quick to remind you that Sandra Oh is still just banging for no reason. Yeah, so I think she's putting on like her little black dress, her tights and everything, and I think she does have a coat. This is when we get to see her big coat. This is real fur. So she has a real in the Ghost in the Shell setting, she has a fur coat. This is probably, I think she probably got this from a modeling job. She would not have bought this for herself, but it was that kind of like well, we could pay you, or we could give you a coat that's worth 3 times as much as your pay, but it's not liquid cash. And she went, I'll take the coat. So she has a ridiculous, like, I think it's kind of a frosty white and gray, like, fur coat that she puts on over her little black dress. And then she does, like, a bold makeup look so that we're ready to go to the club.
Oh, yeah. That you don't have to tax that.
No, you don't tax a coat.
Yeah. And, the ermines that went into this coat, they're extinct now. So, like, there's really no paper trail.
That's the second species that Anne's extincted. Well done.
Okay, now, she didn't extinct it. She just accepted the proceeds.
Okay.
God, death follows you like a specter.
When Riku gets in the car before we bounce back to the other two, she has wrapped the shotgun in a what's that kendo wrap like they do in Japan, for the kendo sword.
Yeah.
And she also has an onigiri and I think Zone energy drink is the exact same in this cyber future because it's already from Cyberpunk. So she's drinking some Zone Deep Dive, but it's like version 1.879 or something.
On puts her hand out. She has put on those, just to fully be Cyberpunk 2077, the gold metallic fingertips that Evelyn has when she recruits you in Cyberpunk 2077 for her job. So she has that on. She puts her hand out. What did you get on at the convenience store when you got yourself an onigiri and an energy drink? What did you get your boss?
An onigiri and an energy drink. They were both 2 for $5. So she got the pink one of the energy drink for On, and she knows On is a salmon roe onigiri kind of girl, and she puts them in those hands. And you will notice as you look at the side of the onigiri, it says in big yellow text, "For Cyborg."
Yep.
Yeah, so I think On looks at these 2 items and then just puts them right back in the console and just cranks up her fucking Mazda and drives to the club.
Okay. Let's do a quick check-in with Soshi.
I am while my coworkers head off to a night at the club, I am typing things into Google.
Nerd.
Yes, I am. I am your nerd. Let me check on. Let's start with that star chart. Can we cross-reference? Can I use a tech roll to figure out where exactly on Earth? Both. I assume we can roll in the star chart. Yeah, the star chart and also what we can see of the environment around us to get a basic triangulation of where this might be located.
If you do a decent tech shot, if you get like more than one success, I'm going to give you like just the next couple of questions straight off the bat for it.
Okay. So is this just 1d12?
For you, it is. It's your intelligence plus tech, so that is 1d12 and another d12, so that's 2d12s.
All right, let's boogie. Woo! Hey, that's not bad.
What is that? What did you get?
Got a 12 in there. That's pretty juicy.
That's good. That's
juicy.
Entirely.
That's spicy.
That's juicy.
Yeah, that's really good. Well done. So that's 2 successes straight off the bat. You are able to find that it is... You're able to look at the stars overhead. You can't tell the time of day, but you can tell the latitude looking around at places that have similar trees and similar sort of... You basically like geoguesser your way through it for a while. And in the pit of your stomach, you start having a feeling that it's somewhere on the Korean Peninsula. And you know that there's 2 sides of the Korean Peninsula, and you hope it's on one of them. But you're starting to get a feeling it might not have been.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Someone, what the fuck was this minister doing?
Right.
Why did we have a Black Ops team in Korea? Okay. Let's see. The other thing we were going to talk about was the actual strike team. Do we have does the footage have a good facial ID on, can I get a good facial recognition on Doc at all?
You get a decent look at Doc.
Cool. Is she in any sort of military database for the JSDF?
You search through it. You go, you like have a look for what the JSDF sort of registration database is, and you find that there is a recruit date, there is a rank that was reached, there was notes of specialization in on-site medic work and on-site electrical and mechanical engineering. And there is a discharge date, and there is a death date. You know,
Interesting.
that is not enough information. Like, if you were just browsing over all the recruits from this year or this month or whatever, and you looked at that on a list on like just out of like 1,000 soldiers or whatever, you would just glance right over that because it's enough data that it's like, yeah, that feels fine. But for someone that was potentially in the Korean Peninsula when they died, that's not enough information. Someone has been through here and they have hushed it up.
Somebody's been scrubbing these files, which means that either the military or somebody who gained access to the military's database really wants to keep this hush-hush. Did we get a name at all, or?
Yes, Ayato Renji.
Ayato Renji, thank you. Okay. And it didn't say like whether so obviously it didn't say whether she served in any particular units,
it is
just
like
what she
dates.
did. Just the barest
It's basically dates, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a thin lead, but it's a lead. I'm gonna post in a group call. Yeah, we've got a positive ID, Ayato Renji. If we could follow up on that, I mean, I'm still thinking about where did Ayato grow up? You know, is she from around? How is she connected to the minister? That might be a dead end though.
She's gonna be from a fishing village, and we're all gonna make fun of On.
Oh my god! Yeah.
This was all fishing village neglect related.
Give me an empathy plus insight roll. So that is a D8 and a D10.
Okay. Not very high, a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, I mean, you can push to re-roll, but this is mostly just like looking at her, trying to see if there's anything like that, if there's any other sort of people that have had like similar records changes, because the records around them all have more stuff in them. Yeah, you can push.
Can I push that 1d8? Yeah.
You can push both of them, and if you want to roll both of them, if one of them come up as a 1, you take some stress for it.
Okay. Let me try pushing the 1d8. Hey,
Nice.
there's an 8, baby.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
That'll work. All right. We're good.
You spend some more time looking through the list of soldiers from around the time. You find ones that have like missing gaps.
Yeah.
There's about about a dozen that all kind of discharged around the same time, that all have like missing information.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to, if you know what to look for, like looking for negative space.
Yeah. Like one of the things in this game is that when you go to somewhere and you don't know what you're looking for, oftentimes you just not find it. Yeah, you find Toro Hoshino. Toro was a standard infantryman, really sort of the grunt there to like haul stuff by the feel of it. Jun Hayami, very dedicated hacker, absolutely knew their way around computers, smart, dedicated, obviously maybe not the best soldier, deceased, discharged.
Mm-hmm.
Tatsu Igarashi, marksman and sniper,
Mm-hmm.
discharged, deceased. Daigo Senzaki, infiltration, discharged, deceased. Ayato Renji, medic and engineer, discharged, deceased. Ren Arakida, discharged.
Starting to think these guys aren't deceased.
Junpei Ito, discharged. So the last two, not deceased.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing some things down. That's great, though. That means we have 2 potential persons of interest here. Ren Arakida and Junpei Ito. Right. We don't know if they were in the same, but they would, if it seems like they were discharged around the same time, in the same circumstances and are under the same aegis of interest that the rest of this squad, which, judging by the fact that we have like a hacker, a sniper, infiltration, does seem like that kind of matches with the squad's call signs, long shot, sneak, specter, etc. So I would have to guess that they might know something. Does one of you want to follow up on either of these people, or how's the thing with the club going right now?
We'll have to head to there after the club, but I'm interested, but we gotta do this.
Let's check in with Bruno before we do, though. I think there's maybe Bruno in there.
Yeah.
We have more leads.
Pretty good so far. I've done some good work. I had an idea, and then I got it through, and now I'm on my way to do the idea. And also, I can, depending on how long this takes, I can probably stop by to do the what is it? His aid thing that was coming out of the clinic.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Person. Anyway, office first.
It is. The government of Japan isn't run out of Newport City. That's kind of one of the weird little features. It is run all the way over on the West Coast. Everything was moved out of Nihamashi and Newport City when those cities became those cities in the ruins of World War III. So there's actually like a couple of really big craters drawn on the map of Japan.
Why? What happened?
Just some stuff. Just some fairly sort of localized nuclear warfare. But you're able to find that the minister's office is back out, like it's in one of the larger parts of the prefecture that Anne visited earlier today. You find outside it, it's one of those sort of commercial, industrial, like prefab buildings. Very grey, very boring, but it's where sort of governmental business happens. There's a guy that works security around the front of it, but you can already see that there are 2 news crews parked outside the front of it. Word of what has happened has started to spread.
Great. I mean, I guess I'm just going to take a shot at walking up and in without any incident.
Sure. I want you to give me some sort of useful social role in that particular situation. That might be empathy plus manipulation to just be like, no, get out of the way.
That's what it is. I'm going to do my best to look like I'm just going to work. Like I have nothing to do with this. I just work in office 2B and he was in 3C or whatever.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with me. I have a suitcase. So that's manipulation? Is that what you said?
Yes. So that will be a D12 and a D10. Y'all are very good at the emotional stuff, except for the soldier.
Well, it's fine. That's why you
talking about?
You pack on to the club.
I mean, a shotgun is a really good motivator to get through intimidation stuff.
Okay. Gotta suck.
Oh, that suck. Good job. That's 2 successes.
Got a 10 and a 3. Sorry, I keep not taking my rolls.
That's fine.
I forget
so that is a 10 and a 3. So a 10 is 2 successes. Yet you are able to bulldoze your way through pretty much anyone that even looks at you funny. You see a couple of the journalists peer at you for a second, and they're kind of like, "Hey, wasn't that person at the thing yesterday?" But by the time they kind of clock you, you've moved through them. You're on the inside, and you get to the inside of the lobby. You're able to see there's a listing on the wall detailing who works in the building, and you find the minister's office. It is 2nd floor. It looks like quite a cheap space once you get there. The door has a lock on it, unfortunately.
I think he spends a little bit of time just maybe it'll just open. Or maybe someone will walk by that has clearance and I can bully them into opening it for me. And when either of those things happen, I think I'm just gonna pistol whip it open.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Give me a strength plus force. Is a D8 and a D6. What augmentations do you have? Casey, you've got a smart targeting assistant. Environmental resistances. No, I don't really see any of those helping you.
No. Damn.
Yeah, you can push. You can push to reroll.
Oh, I can push. Right, pushing. I want to push. It's just
have a
do I
push.
get to pick which one I do?
No, you can do both of them. Like you can reroll as many as you want.
Okay. Well,
You catch your thumb.
You kind of on a 2 and a 4, you lash out and whip at the door. It's not budging. It is a solid office door that is used to protect like ministerial secrets. After
cool. Love things that look cheap but end up being, or I'm just weak.
I mean, I think there's definitely a little bit of like maybe I'm just weak. Like
yeah.
Yeah, you make it's kind of a persistent noise. And after like about 20 seconds of just like hammering at the door, like a older, like early 60s, late 50s guy in like a security guard uniform comes up the stairs and looks at you and sees that you have a gun that you're trying to beat a door open with.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, oh my God, thank God you're here. I couldn't talk to anybody because of the news crews. I'm with Public Security Section 8. I just need to get in here. Do you have a key? While still holding the gun.
Do you show him your badge?
Yes, I show my badge with my other hand.
Okay. Yeah. He looks at you and he's just kind of like stunned.
Step 3 would have been shooting the lock.
That would have been somehow louder. He asks you to put the gun away. That's his primary sort of. That's his primary motivation is to not have a gun near him.
Yeah, of course. I holster. It's just that the next thing was going to be to shoot the lock. So
okay, yeah.
I would love to not do that.
He looks at you and just reaches into his pocket and pulls out. It looks like a wallet, but it's a wallet full of like different plastic key cards. And he cycles through them and presses it up against like the little door handle and opens it. And he says, "I'll wait here and keep an eye on you."
That's fine. Maybe a little boring though. I'm just gonna look at stuff. Go inside. I'm being extremely cavalier about all
that's
this.
Fair. So yeah, you have you're inside this office. It's you didn't see the one back at the house, but this one is much nicer. It's larger. There's a cabinet off to the side, a large painting of one of the sort of beautiful views of this prefecture. It seems that this is where he has like professional meetings. So there's a drinks cabinet off to the side as well, and like a big window behind him, computer terminal that is perennially on, but the monitor's just currently turned off.
I guess I'll go. Unlike some of us, I will do computer to investigate.
Seems fake.
I'm gonna.
What kind of I will do computer do you want to do?
I'm just if it's. I mean, obviously, I don't know if it's locked, but if it's not, I was just gonna like go into files and look for, go down the list for like the names we have and like the future planning committee.
Yeah.
Look for stuff on that.
Okay,
is what I'm after.
Can you give me a insight roll? So it's a D12 and a D8. You're now trying to think like that minister, but not so like him. You do something silly to yourself.
Oof.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. You can ignore that one because you got a success. There's nothing dramatic that's happening to you. Okay, so you got an 11. So that's 2 successes. Okay, so very quickly you start going through the filing system. It's open to you once you have like a little bit of biometrics from the minister, which you have access to because you have his autopsy records. Like you can be like, oh, this is what his fingerprint is like. There we go. We have those. Yeah. You have the name of the future planning committee as something that you were interested in, like finding out more about. And you find that the future planning committee was a group of meetings that happened involving Minister Aragaki, someone named Barandal, someone named Mei Kuronaga, and a guy called Bill Slow.
He's pretty quick-witted, actually.
And all I'm seeing is that they just met and they call it a committee.
Yep. You have times, you have dates, you have places. The dates are more than 2 years ago.
Oh, damn. Okay. That's interesting. And that's all I'm seeing on the computer? On the computer?
Yeah. You also get, there's like emails, but there's nothing that like is especially, that leaps out to you. There is, one email that is kept, with like a star on it in like a subfolder. And it is an email, between Aragaki and someone named Praveen Singh, and it is asking about potentials for lattice corruption. You have no idea what that means. Your tech use just you can roll whatever you want, but that just is.
Can I ask Saorise?
Yeah,
if she knows what it means.
Hey, what's up? Do I know what it means?
Give me.
Do you know what
roll.
a lattice eruption
Let's
is?
roll for attack, baby.
Also, while that's happening, I'm going to look up at the security guard and be like, hey, do you know what a lattice eruption is?
I know what that means.
Okay, cool.
I got a 10.
Hell yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Scared of the phrase lattice eruption.
Do you want me to make up what it means? Because
no, now that you know, it is a form of data storage that is entirely theoretical. It is a crystal data lattice that is inserted between the hemispheres of the brain, and it absorbs a huge amount of information and reads and writes and stores it as angles in a crystal so that the stuff can be read and written at near light speed. So you can store enormous amounts of data in it by just like letting a crystal kind of grow, and it's the angle and it's the distance between things and it's the amount of time that a photon takes to get from one bounce to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. It is quantum state data storage, and it is entirely theoretical. And the fact that the minister for some like little podunk part of Japan is like, hey, do you know anything about this? There is some shit like this. There's maybe 3 people in Japan that would know about this. And one of them probably leaps out to Bruno very quickly as Praveen Singh.
Yeah, writing that down.
That is not theoretical. I saw that in the last Mission Impossible film. Thank you very much.
The documentary.
I haven't seen that, so great minds think alike.
Was it stuck in somebody's brain in the movie? Because that's pretty nar-nar.
No, it wasn't. That's the nar-nar part of this.
No, it wasn't, but now the phrase nar-nar is stuck in mine.
It's a double gnarly. It's nar-nar. It's like a real-life digital
nar-nar.
Ooh, that's somehow a worse phrase. Thanks.
We be saying shit. Okay, I'm going to check the drawers. Anything in his desk drawers?
As you kind of, what did you get? That was 2 successes. Okay, so as you're kind of rummaging around, you find like taped to the underside of the desk, you see that there is like a little piece of paper, and it says 83-08-95.
Okay, take a picture of that. Secondary question: anything like cool and expensive looking in his desk?
Yes.
I forgot.
Like,
okay.
There is what would you like there to be? What's the sort of thing that immediately leaves out? Like, there's definitely Yardley kind of fountain pen. There is, on the cabinet side, there's bottles of very expensive alcohol. The security guard looks at you as you're kind of scoping out that stuff.
Yeah,
evidence.
You're a cop.
Yeah, it's called reasonable search and
anything.
seizure.
They have to apply to prove that it wasn't used in a crime in 60 days, or you get to keep it.
I think Byrne like sizes the security guard up and decides that he's not the type to want to split one of these bottles with me, so I'm gonna not try to lift anything. But just know that had he not had to deal with the security guard, this office would have been looted as fuck.
Everyone else is playing Ghost in the Shell. Brian is playing D&D. It's not nailed down, it's mine.
His body's just lying there, right?
So you can give me an agility stealth roll, so that's a D8 and a D10, and any successes gets you something. If you fail, you don't get anything, but no one gives a shit.
Okay, cool. Sorry, what's the dice level? D8, D6, got it. D8 and D10, right?
6, that's one success.
One success.
Another success. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna give you
just walking around.
I'm gonna give you 1 yen points worth of stuff. So that is just money that you can just drop on a thing.
I don't even want to look. You're taking care of my succulent. I'm just not gonna check like my house. Like, do I still have a flat screen? I don't know.
See, this is why when Bruno says he's going somewhere alone, you just don't question it.
So I think the 2 successes that you got on that stealth check just there, I think one of them generates the yen point, but I think the other one tells you that those numbers that you found, that's not like a phone number. That is a safe combination.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a safe in here?
No, but there's a big ass painting.
Classic place.
I'm gonna look at the paper, look at the security guard, look at the painting, and just be like, all right.
Pretend you're gonna steal the painting so he doesn't see you open the safe.
No, the strategy that's worked for me so far is just to do what I'm doing and look like I'm doing it on purpose and I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to confidently march over to the painting and pry it off the wall.
Yeah, you march over to the painting and you begin to pry it, and one side doesn't pry and the other one does. You're able to kind of open it up and there is a small safe in front of you.
I am going to actually ask him a serious question, which is the guard, a serious question, which is, is this a standard outfit in this building?
He looks kind of surprised and shakes his head. No, this is news to me. He steps in and moves to stand next to you and look in because he's just curious now.
Yeah, I guess it's not really cracking it if you found the
no, you gotta lean in.
Combination.
Listen.
Yeah.
I mean, the guard might not know that you have the code, so if you really want to impress the hell out of it.
Yeah, I am actually going to make a show of doing it.
Yeah. Okay, that's totally fine.
Make a homie out of this guard. Maybe you'll split the alcohol after all.
Yeah, you crack open the safe, and inside there is plenty. There are paper records. There is a little tablet PC, like a sort of iPad thing that has been left to power down. It's a trove of stuff. You can see that there's notes and printouts of emails, and digital copies were gotten rid of, but physical copies were kept. This guy was too fastidious with every one of his records to just ditch all of this completely.
Any money?
Yeah. There's
cool.
There's a decent amount in there.
Just put it in an evidence bag. He doesn't need to know where it is.
No, I'm starting to pull out evidence bags, but I am also saying, what's your name, sir? To the guard.
Kanosuke.
Kanosuke, you're my official witness today. I did a search and seizure on the premises here. I am taking all of these into Section 8 custody.
Yes, sir.
If anybody follows up with you, you can inform them that all of these items are going to be at our offices.
Okay. Do you need any help getting any of it out, or?
No, I've got my showy briefcase here I used to get past the reporter. I'll take care of it.
Okay, yeah. Good plan. If you have a clipboard, people don't ask you to do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
You swipe pretty much all of the documents, all of the emails. It is feels like it could be a huge breakthrough.
Woo!
Nice.
Breakthrough in a bag. Also, I'm definitely taking some money off the top, but we'll talk about that later.
That's fine.
Nobody stores cash in there. Yeah.
No,
not
cash was
all
seized.
of it. That's unwise. Not all of it. I gave the security guard a fake amount, just under what was actually in there, and then that way, if it's followed up
when
on,
you gave him the inventory slip, it was just short a couple hundred.
Exactly.
Where did that 0 go? I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Cool. I got a breakthrough. I'm gonna take it all back to, mostly I'm taking the tablet to Saoirse. I think that seems like the smart thing to do.
Yep.
All right. Yummy treats.
What I think is great is everyone else is out in the fucking snow, and she hasn't left the office once. Just like,
everyone keeps bringing you stuff.
My hands look like this.
In a cyberpunk setting, the coolest thing you could be doing is sitting in a room typing things into Google.
Yes,
that's
super true.
Completely valid.
Yeah, definitely not at
totally
the club. Definitely not at Perestroika trying to follow up on Soviet hardcore.
I'm saving my points for the inevitable point at which I do have to go out into the field, and I am constantly flubbing and falling on my ass all the time. So I'm just enjoying looking cool right now.
I'm cool online, Saoirse says.
I'm very cool on internet tubes.
On internet tube. Okay. Yeah, I think between the two of you, it won't take a huge amount to kind of tour through that. But I think in the meantime, we're gonna go have a quick check-in with Club Perestroika. It is unfortunate.
How bougie is this club? Is it bougie or is it kind of rough?
It's kind of rough. You are
okay.
You're way overdressed.
You are way overdressed. Also, it is like 3 p.m. So
we're going before they open.
Oh, it doesn't ever close. It's just a kind of
oh no.
It has like a sort of like sine wave of clientele. It has people.
Have any of y'all seen Anora?
Yes.
The Oscar-winning film. There's
I don't
a whole
know her
sequence.
Personally, no.
There's a whole sequence where she's trying to track down her no good, rotten Russian oligarch son boyfriend, and she and his like handler and his bodyguard end up on this like tour through New York where they keep going to various nightclubs, and she's like in like her full outfit, and then there's just people trailing behind her, and she keeps having to like slam on doors and be like, where is so and so? I think Anna's going to be channeling that energy because we're looking for a specific person. I think the energy she's trying to project is either slighted escort or pissed off girlfriend.
Okay, sure. It's not in the Newport City Island itself. It's just like off the side of. It's very close to the center of the heart of the town, but. One of the things about Newport City is that the population of the place fluctuates by about 2 million people per day. Incredible sort of highways, incredible sort of train line and capacity to get in and out. But not a lot of people are there after dark, and not a lot of people are there on weekends. It is like a place that you go to work. The areas immediately outside of it's like the parts of Nihamashi that are closest to Newport City, those are where people go to party. They're where you can turn down any one of these alleyways and find karaoke bars. You can find a soap plant. You can find pretty much anything one way or another. And
nice.
Perestroika is 3 floors with a basement area, and it's big square building, grey front with tiles, the little ceramic red tiles that start kind of fading in from the top, like one of them here and there in just different places, until you get further down where it's just a red ceramic wall at around like up to about chest height. There's a guy standing at the door who doesn't look like he has a neck. He just kind of has a part where his shoulders rise up to meet the bottom of his ears. And you're pretty confident he's the doorman.
Mm-hmm.
But if you swapped him out for the door itself, you'd probably have more of a bank vault situation. He is completely bald, no like eyebrows, no like he has eyelashes. You're pretty confident. But his right eye is missing, but has like a metal kind of plug socket with a high definition camera that is just like twitching constantly. It's a little bit off.
Does he look really cyberized? Like, could you pick up lines of like, if he was cyberized, could we tell from here?
Very
or is
easily,
it like clean cyberization? Ooh, okay.
I think On's approach is the less is more, show don't tell approach. So I think she so she is subscribed to a parking garage network. So she pulls into the nearest parking garage in her network where they safely store her beautiful Mazda MX-5. And then they have to trudge down the street through the slush that's beginning, and she's in her heels. So by the time they get to the doorman, she is looking still overdressed, but I think quite harried and frustrated. And I think she just walks up to the doorman and just puts a hand on her hip and just gives him a look and just points at the door to Perestroika, like, get out of my way kind of energy.
He looks
and I
down
think
at
she
you.
is trying to just gain access for her and Rika without having to state any reason why they're here.
He looks at you and says, "Name."
Oh, fuck. I feel like I should have a fake name. Oh my god.
You probably should.
Oh, nope. You know what it is? Akane.
He glances off to the left.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Not on the list. Not getting in.
I know I'm not on the list. I'm looking for this no good asshole. And she is going to hold up the image of who we know to have been the guy in the crowd. He owes me.
He owes a lot of people.
Then I need to know them because I'm not exactly, and she gestures to herself, really able to collect, but I would love to connect with people who can.
Rika, where are you right now?
Rika is standing slightly behind On, and we now see that after we parked, she changed into something from her duffel bag, and she's in like what I want to describe as a little match girl outfit, complete with like the comfy overcoat that's just a little worn down. She was like, hey, pull off at this thrift store, and the thrift store was like a dumpster or a closed donation bin. And Rika is looking just like she's lost. You can't see the shotgun. We all know where it is, but you can't see it. But she's just like poking behind and just really selling the like born out of wedlock, here with my mom energy.
Oh.
I want you to give me a manipulation roll, Rika.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would love to.
Ma'am, is this your
I'd like to push that.
Alice got a 1 and a 3 there.
That's worth pushing. Okay. I'm just gonna make it quick. Don't you're gonna see some rolls happening. Don't worry about that. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's probably fine. Probably normal.
Yeah. The guy at the door looks at Rika, just kind of peers for a moment. Piece of advice: if you're going to have a fully cyberized body, breathe, because that way I can see the condensation that comes from you in the cold, like it is right now.
Rika intentionally starts breathing, although she doesn't have to, so she gets a little puff of air. It's just like,
I'm not letting a fully cyberized person in here, especially when there's someone that's accompanying them that seems to be out of sorts.
Out of sorts? I think On tries to look very offended.
Out of sorts?
What are you trying to say?
That you look out of sorts, love.
I am perfectly in sorts. I just need to find out where he's gone. And this seems like the best place to find other people who have a vested interest in doing the same.
What makes you say that?
I know that he used to come here to score. I don't know what, but he did.
He reaches a hand out to just like, it looks like he's about to try and like pat you on the shoulder to send you on.
This is when Rika, her training kicks in. She thinks this is an attack on her direct superior, and she just, her hand shoots out to just kind of grab him by the wrist.
Yeah. Go for it.
And then she wants to immediately try and chuck this man.
Okay. You have muscular enhancements as a augmentation.
I do.
You also have an agility booster.
I do.
Well, that's gonna probably come into play here.
I need to draw something else real quick.
So this would be close combat, right?
This would be that, yes. So that's...
So that's 2d12.
Okay.
And I get advantage.
You do. So that is 3d12.
So that means I just roll it. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. And then I want to push.
Okay.
2 of those.
I'm guessing you're keeping the 8.
Keep the 8, push the 5 and the 3.
Okay.
I can push twice.
Yeah.
Because of my enhancement.
Yeah, you can.
And I'm going to push both of those twice.
Push both of those again.
Wow. Let's go.
Okay. So you pushed into 1 stress already.
Get away with it!
That's 2 12s.
That's 2 12s.
Okay.
That's 2 12s.
So because you pushed into a 1, you take 1 physical stress for this.
Okay. Right, marking that.
But the 2 12s, that's 2 successes, plus the 1 for the... So 5 is a positively gigantic amount of success. I am going to look up something real quick by scrolling at the top of this. You can pick to do 3 points of damage and inflict a critical on this poor schmuck. So 3 points of damage, you can see like the average person's health pools are not especially gigantic unless you are fully cyberized. So like, yeah, let's have a quick...
Did you murk it? I guess, you know what? This is what we're here to do.
No, he'll live. He's at least partially cyberized. He probably has a chance.
No, we're Section 8. We're gonna kill a nightclub. We're gonna massacre a nightclub. You guys
yeah,
gotta
that's an
roll with
important
this
part
now.
of Ghost in the Shell.
That's what's happening.
Can you give me a 1d12 roll, please?
I would love to give you a 1d12 roll.
Okay.
It's a 10, boss.
Oh, God, what is going on?
What's happened is that is a critical roll that is being rolled. Okay, so on...
I want to know what I get. It's like a fun bag of injuries to the enemy.
Yeah, you grab him, and you turn him, and you throw him like... It's partially sort of like a judo throw, but it is less over the shoulder and more around. You have a hold of him by the arm and by like the wrist. You swing him around behind Anne, and as you move, you drive him into the wall and then down, and you hear his neck go crunch.
On has gone ahead to the door and is going to just be proceeding at a brisk walk.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do we have those cyber brain locks as Section 8? Like the handcuffs for cyberized people that they have in the anime? Or do we just have regular handcuffs still?
You have regular handcuffs. You don't need to worry about handcuffing him. You're paralyzed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's going nowhere fast.
Yeah. Good job, Lenny.
You do get a text from on the stairs. It's the login key for her parking spot at that garage we just walked from if you want to stash that somewhere.
I think you just see the little match girl drag this body over to a dumpster and toss it in.
Hold on. I just want to say something, which is that we could probably just have like the incidentals department pay for him to get a new body. Like doesn't have to be that big of a deal.
Oh yeah,
it's probably what? It's probably just a new neck, frankly.
Yeah, you could swap those out,
a new
right?
neck.
Whatever.
Yeah,
He just can't. Like the way the combat works in this is if you get a critical hit on something, you then roll on like the critical injuries table, and for crushing that can be if you roll a 1, its teeth knocked out, and that gives you disadvantage on manipulation rolls. 6 is a concussion, 10 is a broken neck, a 12 is a crushed skull, which is just instant death.
I love it. We did great today. I think Rika is just gonna call on to the group chat because she knows On isn't in there, and just update everybody that hey, we're going loud in the club.
I am still just walking briskly up the stairs.
Rika does send in a picture to the group chat, and it's her with a peace sign over the dude's body.
What's Saoise's McDonald's order? That's what I'm doing right now.
You're makuru. There's literally a Japanese verb for to go to McDonald's. It's makuru.
Oh, I haven't eaten at McDonald's in so long. I don't know what's actually on the menu.
Well, you can make something up because it's like the year 21 million or whatever.
The game is literally set in 2025. I don't know.
The last time I ate McDonald's in Japan, they had a super Texas barbecue cowboy burger. So I'm going to assume that is what I get.
Oh,
Okay.
and make sure to order a milkshake, and then you just get a text from Burn that's like, milkshake machine broke. They still haven't figured that one out.
Yeah, the cyberization of the milkshake machine.
A picture for the web zone.
I do think
has to be the cowboy burger.
On is proceeding up the stairs very briskly, but trying to keep a low profile. And I think before we do a dynamic entry of this venue, she is going to try to get as close as she can to try to eavesdrop on any conversation that might be happening, because she does have her cochlear implant, so she has enhanced hearing. And she has language processing for Russian, Korean, Chinese, Mandarin, and Canto. So, like, she's going to try to make use of that and get as close as she can to listen in.
Yeah, get in there. That's what would be a good role for that. That feels like observation, or insight, or...
I'm going to do, if you're good with it, I'm going to do intelligence observation.
I would say that makes more sense, yeah.
Okay.
Ah, damn. Oh, no.
I am going to push that. Yep, I'm going to push that.
Push it.
Right. Oh, wait. And I think that... Does the cochlear give me 2 pushes on that? I think so.
Let me just
But I don't
find out.
remember. One of my things has 2 pushes, but it might not be the cochlear.
Yes, you can push the observation rolls relating to hearing twice.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to push you one push.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so that's immediate stress you're taking as well.
Oh, my God. Oh. I got no successes.
We are winning over here at the club.
There's not going to be much stuff for your wife to come back to, huh?
Listen. All right. What is my damage that I'm taking? And then also
taking,
how's this
so
go?
I'm going to say that is 1 point of health damage, because you kind of really tuned the audio for just the right thing, and you're standing outside the door. And right as you kind of open like the audio senses up, that's when the beat drops, and
oh boy,
it just like for like a little bit of time you have like a little kind of ringing in your ears, and yeah, it sucks. You filter down a lot of the background audio, and this new source comes in and just blows out an eardrum. It's not quite that bad, but it's
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Done got bangeranged.
Yeah, I did get bangeranged. Skrillex attacked me personally.
Oh my God.
No, so yeah, I think On like winces and has to like clutch the side of her head as this information processes. She's trying to keep moving because she knows they have a very limited window before somebody's aware of the doorman issue. But I do think that kind of just results in her being kind of, if there is a crowd here listening to this music and dancing or whatever, I think she kind of is getting jostled for a little while.
I think given the time of day, the crowd's pretty light. It seems like things are more have you ever been to a club like during the day and like there's a couple of people there? It's really got sort of more like sad, depressing energy rather than keeping the party going.
You can see like the trash on the floor way more clearly.
Yeah.
Is the vibe. Yeah.
I do think so. I think what On does is she will just stumble to the bar. She will look like she is in a bad way and just gonna stumble to the bar.
Yep. There's a couple of girls behind the bar, wearing sort of like club ready gear. They look like they're kind of there to have a good time, but they are just kind of serving a drink. Both of them look at you, and they have kind of like that glance between people who work behind bars of like, okay, who's going to take this one? Okay, you will. And one of them heads on over. She goes, "Hey, what can I get you?"
On orders a double whiskey mid-shelf, not well, but nothing like crazy expensive. But she orders in Russian. Or she attempts to. If they don't understand Russian, then she'll switch to Japanese, but...
No, they know enough to, like, get the drink orders in Russian. When you're actually inside here, you can see that, like, there's the stage for live music off in the, like, in the distance. It's currently occupied by, like, a DJ.
Who just harmed me materially.
Yeah, it just harmed you. Over in the corner, there's exits into, like, a bathroom. There's little kind of booths. There's stairs up into a VIP area that seems to be kind of perennially occupied. And there's an old Soviet tractor, like, next to the bar.
My wheat quotas.
Yeah, they pour out the drink for you, and they hand it over. You pay. It is something that can quite easily be expensed.
Yeah. I do think...
You get a text message to get a drink for Rika.
Okay, what is your drink order? Please tell me what your drink order is.
Synthetic beer for cyborgs.
Okay.
It's like Sapporo.
I was literally...
synthetic or
Okay, can I make
something.
my bad joke that I was about to say?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get a Synthporo too?
Yeah, they absolutely go and get a bottle of it, and they crack it open, but it's not like a sort of barman's best friend tool that they have. It looks like the back end of a claw hammer that is just like used to like crack open the top of the beer, and it's placed down next to you.
Okay. We'll situate that on the in front of the stool next to her, and then you said so. There's a perennially occupied VIP area up some stairs. Are the restrooms near that, or sort of in a different area?
I would say there's like a little bit of, I think, opposite sides of the dance floor.
Okay. Okay. I think Anna's gonna drop the I'm looking for my boyfriend / John and kind of shift into a different mode. She's already like spoken in Russian, so I think she's going to keep doing that, and she's going to go, I'm supposed to be meeting someone here. Have you seen him? And then she holds up the photo again to the bartender.
She looks at it and looks at you and points up to the VIP area, and she says, Michael Mueller, you want to speak to Michael?
Thank you. And I think she will sit and sip her whiskey and just watch the VIP area for a bit. Like, she's clearly like finishing her drink and waiting for someone to meet her at the bar. She's not going to approach until Rika is able to reconvene. So if we want to cut away and look at some other stuff.
Okay. Speaking of other stuff, so I think Bruno is probably traveling, so we'll say, Saorise.
Yeah, thanks for asking. My McDonald's order is a black coffee.
Of course it is. You pull in, you order a small black coffee, and you leave.
Guys, we have two characters that are the most divorced possible, but that's somehow the most divorced order anyone could have. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to like just
No, it's just
That's
correct.
fine.
No, mine's an achievement though because I've never even been married. I'm divorced with this
spiritually
weird
divorced.
situationship.
Spiritually divorced.
All right, Trace, what you up to? You have not got a huge amount of files yet, but you've been given, that this mission probably took place in the Korean Peninsula. You have more of these files. You probably by this point also have knowledge about the data lattice. Yeah. What's on your mind?
Time to follow up on, I think an interesting lead to take would be it sounds like there's two different directions we could take this investigation in. Either figuring out the identities and the backstory behind the team in Korea, or figuring out what's going on with the FPC and Praveen Singh. I realize this is probably like an A plot and a B plot that will converge eventually, but I need to follow one of them until it meets the other one on the other side first. I think that with my tech skills, I think that would mean I would be better at following up the lattice storage subplot. So is there a way for me to contact get in contact with Praveen Singh either over the net or by going to wherever he works? Is he especially a contactable individual?
Yeah, you can find out that he works at a company called Hanka Robotics.
Okay, cool.
If he's not a Jameson, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Right.
He's not, but I'm so upset that I didn't do that.
Can I schedule an appointment with him?
Yeah, he schedules. You can get an appointment scheduled for this afternoon.
Super.
Do you need me to
I'll-
send an email?
I know how to use email, boss. Don't worry. Cool. I get in my hatchback, my Mitsubishi Mirage, and I drive on over there.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be your third shift. So that's the afternoon shift before night shift. So that's where we're gonna get to with that one. Bruno, you're just traveling back to the base, I'm guessing, or?
Yeah, I was gonna maybe drop the stuff off and then go check out whatever his Well, I almost kind of feel like we have a lot to go on here without that aid guy at this point.
I mean, it's worth crossing I's and dotting T's in case the aid guy is targeted next, maybe?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Or if that's
I'd
how
love to
they
get
got
shot at.
the virus through to him.
Okay, yeah, I'll go do that then.
Okay.
In my
Trust no
standard
one.
issue vehicle that is completely not indicative of any sort of crisis going on in my life.
Or any sort of economic class or any sort of...
I take the train
silver
to
Honda
work.
Civic. Very reliable car.
I want the
Gets good
car. I
gas
want the
mileage.
Pat Labor 2 car.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna in that case cut back to Perestroika, where we have An and Rika. An is currently by the bar. 2 drinks. All 2 drinks. An.
I got you a synth poro.
I think Rika's gonna try and be surreptitious about drinking in here because she recognizes the optics.
Yeah, I think Rika is able to get in. I think what happened outside was extremely quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's maybe a degree of like this person's going to be suspicious that like comes up.
I think actually Rika I think this is like one of those movie things, like order that beer for me for later. And she grabs it, she pounds it, and then she heads for the back rooms, where there's like obviously an employee only sign. She knows they're on a clock now.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
just lean in.
So, yeah, we basically finish our drinks, and then we immediately split again. I'm headed towards the VIP stairs. You're headed towards the back area of Perestroika.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm
Do you
going
want
just...
me to come with you?
No, I think it's a good idea to kind of circle around. I think you're close enough to give me backup if something goes really bad, but otherwise it's not a bad idea to kind of secure the back entrance of the kitchen.
I got a photo of a guy, and I got girls in the back room who might know him. I'm in.
Yeah. So, On walks with purpose across the sparsely populated dance floor, and we'll just head up the stairs unless she stopped.
You head on over. You move over to the VIP area, and you climb up the small spiral staircase into this area at the top. There's couches. There is tacky, gaudy, mirrored walls. There is a dance floor with a single solitary pole in the middle of it. And at the far end of this place that at night with people in it probably seems like it might be kind of fun, but right now it just seems like a sort of depressing den that you move through. You see.
Can I make a
at the far end-
suggestion for decor? In lieu of a disco ball, they have had one of the busts of Lenin covered in little mirrored scales, and it's hanging there.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no light on it right now because it's not
Yes.
actively. There's not like a big dance going on here. But if On glances up, he's just hanging upside down, ready to have a
The
light
Lenin
pointed at
disco
his
ball.
bald head. That's covered in mirror ball shit.
Yo.
That is so cool.
The couches are all, of course, like bright red leather. And you see that there's 2 kind of heavies on either side of this one couch with this guy sitting between them. He looks very out of place. He has black trousers, a black shirt, and like a deep crimson jacket that's just like very long. He wears it basically all the time. Very pale, almost blue skin. Very wire-rimmed glasses, like about the size of silver dollars on the sort of lenses that are slightly off yellow. In the notes that I've written, it says this is very specifically Maximilian Strauss from Bloodlines, but yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. He leans forwards, kind of looking interested. Guten Abend.
Yeah, I think, wait, he speaks German?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's one of my languages. I crushed it, y'all! I have Korean, Russian, German, and 2 times. Anyway, so I think
I mean, he definitely speaks other languages, but if you're able to meet him,
I'm literally
level.
So she walks up again. It's like click. I think she has red bottom heels. So these is like click, click, click of the red bottom heels. She fluffs out her real fur coat and approaches and greets him in German as Mr. Mueller. I was hoping to catch up with you.
Yes. Do you have a name? Should I be calling you something?
Call me Akane. And I think, is there still space on the couch he's sitting on?
Yeah. It's a big couch. He's a skinny guy.
She perches on the edge of the cushion next to him.
You see
he
both
older
of the
or younger?
heavies just kind of shift. He's younger than you.
Okay. So I think she's projecting kind of she's moved through a lot of personas here, but I think she's shifting into sort of jaded socialite energy. And she says, I believe you're the person to tell me about this gentleman. And she is going to hold out the picture again.
Yeah, give me an insight roll.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's do empathy, insight. God, I always forget I have a D in insight, though I have a D12 in empathy. Oof. I'm so lame. Okay, so that's a 12. I mean,
You're
I'll roll
so
the other one.
empathetic right now.
I have like no insight, but I did get a 12.
yeah, meets it. You look at him, and he does a really, really good job of not reacting, but you do a slightly better job of reading him. And there's a tell he absolutely fucking knows who that guy is.
I think An keeps her voice totally level and pressing on this information just says, please don't pretend you haven't made his acquaintance. I'm not here for you. I'm following up on his use of a certain narcotic.
Aha. And that would be my business because, what, you believe that I am a drug dealer?
No. I believe that you are a powerful contact in a web, and that web can connect me to who I'm actually after. His associates.
Give me a manipulation roll. You've read him, you've got him on the ropes, but because you approached him in German, I'm going to give you an advantage. So that is, for you, I think
The
that might
German
just be
advantage.
all the fucking dice in the world, by the looks of it.
Okay, so yeah.
A D12, a D10, and another D12, because you get a second one of your biggest dice.
Okay.
You really blitzkrieged him.
Wow!
Okay, so I have 2 successes. I do think I'm going to push that D12.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, I got a worse one. Okay, well, I have 2 successes there.
Okay. Yep, he looks at you and says, yes, I know Mr. Ito, yes.
Okay, would Saorise have sent the names of the people we're looking for? Sorry, I was going to pull them up in chat, but I didn't.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that we both have red cars. We both have red cars, but they're so different.
Section 8's color is red.
Yeah, Mr. Ito, he comes in fairly frequently.
I think the name that that An wanted to drop was the name of the other person we know who was discharged who was alive. But I couldn't remember that name. So there's Ito, Junpei Ito, and then there's
Ren Arakita.
Ren Arakita. So I think An says, all right. And Mr. Arakita?
I don't know who Mr. Arakita is. Is that a kind of dog or?
Why would that be a kind of dog? An just kind of dismisses this and says, so you dealt exclusively with Mr. Ito?
Well, not exclusively. You must understand I have several clients that are after such exceptional substances. These things are hard to bring in. They have discerning clientele. Bring it in from Vladivostok, it travels, it comes here, we sell it. Of course, it is all hypothetical, you understand.
Of course. Hypothetically, you being a man of discretion would have vetted your clients. What information can you give me on Mr. Ito if you don't know his other associate?
Mr. Ito is very particular about what he says. I know that he is ex-military. I know that he is mostly interested in not recreational substances. The only other information I know about him in particular is he pauses and thinks and just kind of, it seems like he's racking his brain for something. One time, he left some contact information for a delivery. It was a place called Kythera Cyber Cafe. It strikes you that you, earlier today, drove through a village called Soka Village that had Kytheria Internet Cafe in it.
I would like to state for the record that I am always right.
Oh, fucking it literally. Oh, it's not literally the fishing village.
I'd like to say for the record, I fucking called it.
I do think Saoirse's somewhere in a room alone, just fist pumping. This is why I have your wife. I do think there's a little bit of a tell in that she squeezes her eyes shut for just a moment. Her eyelashes kind of do that kind of jittery flutter where you're like, ugh, because she is also acknowledging that Saoirse may have been right. And I think she looks at Mueller for just a moment more to see if he's going to volunteer anymore. But if that's it...
Doesn't seem like he is.
Then she'll say, it was lovely to meet you, Mr. Mueller. I hope we don't meet again. And then she will exit the VIP area.
You now have enough information about Junpei Ito. You have a physical description, you have an area that he's potentially in, and you have a name. You have enough to put out an APB for him. So you can just start telling uniforms to look out for him. Now, they might not be able to find him, but it will make everything that he does after you put it out take one shift longer to do in the countdown.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think On will forward the info to Saoirse, and then I think I will give you the honors if you want to put out the APB with the information that you have.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Rika, you went into the back rooms. You found...
I heard there was a basement.
Yeah, you go down... Do you go down into the basement?
Rika saw that on the blueprints, and
cool.
she's like, if anything's gonna be happening, it's gonna be in the basement. And she's just gonna go there.
Yeah, you head down into the basement, and you start climbing down the stairs, and in your heads-up display, you see network connectivity disconnected.
Oh! What sort
That's
of motive?
That's probably fine.
What motive you got into there?
I switched to autistic mode.
Somewhere
and
in
continue heading down.
Just still arguing.
Just call it incognito mode. It's not hard.
What? No, I have to call it this. When it goes in the shell, I know how it works.
Yeah, you flip into autistic mode, and you are disconnected. There is something down here that is blocking network connections.
It'll probably be fun.
Okay, yeah. You head on through, and you find a storeroom. You find barrels. You find kegs. You find boxes full of alcohol. You find just a whole bunch of shit. It is bar shit all the way back. It feels perfectly normal, for a bar. But if you weren't fully cyberized, you probably wouldn't have noticed that there was something back here that just shut down your network connection. Everyone else has just noticed that Rika's gone offline, which seems rare.
Walking fast, walking faster. Anna's going to try to trail where she last saw Rika headed.
Rika's gonna look around for, false walls, holograms, things of this nature. She knows you can hide an operation.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a either an observation roll or a stealth roll, because that's kind of, I think if
I'm
going to
go with
about it,
stealth because I went loud out front, but I feel like Rika has gotten down here and she's like locked in ex-military, like, oh, I got a solid snake this, like a normal person.
Yeah, it's just regular person, regular girl being a...
Just girly things. Time to solid snake
just girly
this.
thing.
Nice.
Just girly things. That's 2 successes.
Yeah, that's 2 successes. That's 2 successes plus 1. That's 3 successes in total. Yeah, you find that it's not a hologram wall. You find a false wall. On the other side of it, you can feel like some fairly intense heat.
I bet that's a server farm. Is Rika thinks to herself. I think I don't legitimately think she's smart enough to figure out how to trigger this false door. And that's me. That's me being me. But you know what can open a door? A fist. A fist of a fully cyberized person.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
no,
definitely.
I think Rika goes to the other side of the storeroom and comes at it with a running start and like jumps and braces midair to try and cannonball through it.
Yeah, give me a force roll then. So that is a D12 and a D6. You have...
I have a B in that. That's a D... Wait, that's a D8, right?
It's a D10.
Okay, so D12, D20.
So you have
I'm
a
AB.
D12 and a D10. You've got impact compensators as well. So I'm going to say... that is... You're going to reduce any damage that you take from this by 4 to a minimum of 1.
I'm gonna... Yeah. I'm not gonna push that one. I'll just take the damage.
Yeah, you don't necessarily take any damage. You slam into the wall. You don't slam through the wall, but like it is the sort of thing where like you can just like claw your way out of it if you need to. Yeah, you smash like a good chunk of yourself through the wall, and on the other side, it is just a server rack. There's like racks upon racks of GPUs that are all like crunching
Bitcoin
cryptocurrency.
Oh, cool. Burn it.
You came to a bar, you smashed down a wall, and you're like, oh fuck, evidence of potential crime.
I think at this point Rika knows she has to call this in because she is, like, we're not like Section 9. We don't let a little crime get by to get the bigger crime. I believe we have to stop all of the crime. And so I think Rika legitimately looks for a giant plug. You know how servers rooms have those giant red handles you can flip to cut the power? Does this one have one of those?
Like a sort of scram switch. I think that it probably doesn't. You like smash like your hand through and you kind of like rip the rest of the wall because you've put a big fucking dent in the plasterboard. You're inside. There's definitely security cameras that have definitely seen you do this. Like that is just like no question about it.
Well, I better get upstairs and call this one in because I can't be stupid in this moment. I think Rika's gonna turn and bolt for the stairs to get a signal back.
Yeah, you turn and you bolt for the stairs. You've left like a kind of small person-sized hole in the wall. You have like plaster powder on you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You come up the stairs and as you're heading away from Mueller, you can just kind of see your partner. What in the fuck has happened?
So On was trying to follow after. I think On has gotten as far as like halfway back across the dance floor when little cyber gremlin reemerges covered in plaster dust. Cyber gremlin with a husband and child. I can't emphasize this enough. Anyway, when she's emerged covered in plaster dust.
Look, she's kept her family together. What's your excuse?
It hurts so much more when it comes to the DM, man.
And I think On sees Rika and pivots on her red-bottomed heel and is headed for the exit again, the same way they came in, because she knows that way is currently unguarded. All right, not even going to approach you, just going to head out.
Okay. the minute I get connection back, calling in to Saorise, who is now just our dispatcher. Just kidding, I'm calling dispatch, which is a thing you can do in this system. And I'm calling for immediate backup on a crime in progress. That crime? Cryptocurrency. We have to stop it.
Okay.
In 2025, cryptocurrency has been made illegal.
That is legal, but it is illegal when people are just mining it themselves. It is from a central sort of regulated, distributed thing.
This is the future version of money laundering.
Yeah, it is future money laundering, essentially. Yeah.
What if
it's
the
currency forgery?
Destabilized blockchain was controlled by the government, guys?
Yeah, no, like it's like, what if you took like the potential one good thing about crypto and then took it away? But yeah, that's like,
yeah,
that's basically what's happened. Again, that is a thing that is mentioned in like one line of one episode.
Yep. So Anna is hitting the stairs as fast as possible in her spiky little heels. Basically, her goal is to get clear of this area before the black and whites show up, and it kind of becomes a paperwork nightmare so that she can stay mobile. So she's just going to be heading back to the garage to pick up the midlife crisis mobile.
And Rika's walking casually through the middle of this club covered in plaster, dressed like the little match girl. But mission complete, probably. She has to talk to the black and whites when they get here, so she knows she's in paperwork hell.
Yep.
I found a sub-objective.
It's like in Cyberpunk 2077 when you're doing something, then the little thing pops up.
You see Rika pull out her comm device and send a text message to her husband that says,
no.
I'm not going to be able to make it to the recital. Work got busy again.
No, this is how it happens. No.
And then she closes the messaging app, and there's a photo of her husband and her daughter at the park when they were like actually spending time together. She just flips it closed and is like, shit.
For the listener, your husband looks exactly like the Major, but with a mustache, holding Toby's child.
There's a brief glimpse in Solid State Society of the Major getting into like a male Major body that kind of looks like an old pinstripe dandy.
I can get into it.
So
yeah, there we go. All right.
Okay, so we're now going to shift to the third shift.
Sure.
This is the evening. I think we're going to focus on Saorise for a second. You make your way to Honka Robotics. That is one of the buildings in Newport City. It is a towering skyscraper of a place. It is the home of the Honka Robotics Administration Building. It is where companies go to get service robots, they get mechanized vehicles, they get autonomous kind of devices. And you know that Praveen Singh is expecting to meet you here. You know that Singh he was born in the late 1970s, supposedly a genius, a really impressive mind, but suffered the same fate that everyone that's super good at engineering does. He got moved into a management position.
No.
And then Peter problemed his way into a position he wasn't suited for.
Damn.
He stopped being an engineer and started being a manager.
Tragic.
He's not great
I hate to see
at
it.
being a manager.
So sad.
I see the war flashbacks in Ghost Size.
At the foot of this towering building, it looks like so many of the other buildings in the area, except the big red holographic sign, Honka Robotics, on the front of it. You get out of your car, and off to the side there is a multi-ped tank that is one of the units that's like kept on display here as like this is the stuff that we make. Inside the lobby, big glass fronted lobby, there's a desk with what looks like a robot standing at it. There's a couple like more sort of early units positioned around the lobby, and you're just standing there, the snow's falling, it's really quite nice. And then above you hear the sound of breaking glass.
Oh no.
And then you meet Praveen Singh as he meets the sidewalk. And something dawns on you Junpei Ito's probably in that building, and you're here by yourself. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.